What?
Welcome back to ESP TV, and you've probably just heard a little voice there in the back. That is, of course, Jimmy Wissenton, the one and only. You actually work on the Planet side too, but in your spare time, Jimmy, you're also a Counter-Strike caster and fairly good at it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Yeah, I still owe everything Counter-Strike, man. I mean, even the job I get now, they found me through analytics casting and being a long-time player and stuff. So it's awesome. I'm glad to be back casting again.
And welcome back, that is. We have an awesome game lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen, at home tonight. It's going to be mousesports versus Anexis Germany versus Denmark, and it's going to be, of course, a relegation match for the Fnatic FragOut League. The winner will go straight to the semi-final and face up against VeryGames. And yeah, that is going to be a kicker of a match. But this one is also going to be extremely good because these two teams are so well matched. And mousesports just recently changed the player. They have actually switched out, for this match at least. We're not quite sure how the real lineup is going to be. But for this match, they have switched out Nex instead of Nuki, the former Counter-Strike Source player from Germany, who was with Talked, but now with mousesports. So this is going to be quite interesting to see what he can do here today. Let's see here. We're still waiting for the IP, of course. Oh, it's all.
That's usually the way it goes.
Yeah. Oh, there's IP. Yay!
Excellent.
But yeah, as per usual, the players are probably not ready. Let's just jump into the server and have a look. I'll just pass the IP on to Jimmy Wissenton, of course. But meanwhile, in the chat, we can ask the question: who you guys think will win the game? Funks is probably ready with the MooBot, which you've probably now got enabled. I think actually it was you who told us about it in the first place, wasn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, and I actually ended up completely getting rid of that bot.
Yeah, and we use it a lot now.
it had a mind of its own. Maybe you guys are just better setting it up than I am, but MooBot's actually pretty great for a lot of things.
We are, of course, setting up the vote right now. So you can vote either mousesports or Anexis. Funks is still setting it up. But yeah, in the meanwhile, we're trying to get on the server. But while you're waiting, of course, you can follow me at Twitter. I'm at FollowRisk. And you can also follow Jimmy. Where can they follow you, Jimmy?
It's at JimmyWhiz, at JimmyWhis.
And of course, also go give the guys at Fnatic a like. A follow, that is, actually, on Twitter. You can also like them on Facebook. And go visit their website where all information for this league is available. That's Fnatic.com. But with that being said, and now currently 2 players on the server, we're going to cut to a short commercial break and we'll be ready to start the game when the players are. That'll be around 10 minutes. See you then.
What the f was that?
So welcome back here to ESP TV, and finally the players are ready to duke it out here in this best of 3. We're going to start out on D Inferno, of course, Anexis versus mousesports, and we're going to jump straight into the knife round, which of course you know, all the viewers, is the most exciting thing that has ever happened to the history of Counter-Strike. And if you just tuned in, of course, I'm joined by none other than Jimmy Wissenhunt from, basically former ESEA, or maybe you are still in ESEA, I'm not quite sure, but also works for PlanetSide 2 as a developer. So, hello to you.
Hello, hello.
And yeah, we have a knife round. Woo!
We do, and all kinds of chaos is ensuing. I always love when people go to play-by-play knife rounds. It's like, what?
Let's see, and he gets a good order.
Well, I mean, unless it's like the Jacobson 1 versus 5 knife round that happened on Ruska.
And that's almost going to happen.
Almost.
But yeah, like, there's in Europe, there's like one team who really, like, their games, they actually practice strats for knife rounds. No shit.
They have like the flying V from the Mighty Ducks, just like straight down mid.
Just running out. Yeah, they do all sorts of crazy shit. Oh, and we got the votes in. 42% of you guys voted for mousesports, and it says 57, but it says, yeah, it is actually 58. Voted for Anexis. So yeah, Anexis is the favorites for the crowd tonight as we jump into the pistol round here. Oh, nope, we don't.
Nope, not just yet. Gotta wait for the restart.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Yeah, of course the players weren't quite ready, but now
so
they are.
you know, I'm fascinated right now, as I have not had much of an opportunity until recently to play some CS:GO and see what kind of changes have been happening from the developers over at Valve, and I've noticed what they've done to the Glock, and it surprised me. I ran up mid on Inferno just a little while ago and one-shotted someone with the Glock, and it very much confused me. I mean, how much has this really impacted the pistol round so far?
Well, basically that, and then the fact that the P250 has gotten a lot cheaper has just changed the whole thing around, and then the fact that the Deagle is so bad, so no one wants to use it. And actually, we've also been seeing on Nuke terrorists buying Molotovs in pro games because they're also cheaper for the terrorist side. So a lot of things have changed, and usually pistol rounds are now Glocks and P250s only, so there's no other weapons being used.
It's incredible the kind of changes, especially mid-season when there's so many other matches going on. It's really volatile time to be playing CS:GO in a league such as this because you never know what change is going to come up next, you know?
No, in the beginning the Deagle was banned because it was too powerful. So, yeah. And now it's, of course, allowed again, but no one uses it. That's the way it goes. But yeah, we're almost a minute into the round now, and we're looking at a possible B push. Let's see here, Carrigan looking to get the first frag. He will get Nilla down. Now moving into the runes, as Nuki will be on the bomb site to take down MSL, and he goes down as well, so it looks like Mouse have a clean entry into the side. Shropley, though, will be backstabbing, and looks like mousesports will have an almost clean sweep here.
It very well could be. I mean, Nico all the way over here in mid right now. It's going to take a lot of time for him to get over towards the B bomb site, and it doesn't look like the kit's in play here.
Nope. No kit for
Does not appear so. Yeah, there's definitely not going to be any sort of aggression coming in from a Nico here. Maybe just try to get up some extra cash, pick up a couple extra frags here for nades next round, and maybe be able to pull out some sort of stack.
Let's see here what he wants to do. Just moving slowly up towards the banana. Not want to take any risks here because he knows there's still 5 players alive and he will be falling back. The question is, will he get a frag? Oh, wow, that's unlucky. Oh,
the knife scutter.
Oh, that was actually close. And the knife reward is actually pretty high in Go. I think it's around $1,000. So getting a knife frag in the first round means an actual lot. But no worries. The terrorist will buy up. So we do see 2 AKs, 2 Bisons, and 1 P90 coming into play. While Anexis will be on those pistols and no stacks. Oh, actually, a 3-man towards B. Small stack, but not a 5-man. Risk taken down.
And it looks like they're going to send Trouble over towards alt mid here. It's going to be a 3-2, and by a 3-2, I mean they're going to send over towards alt mid. It's 3 of them, and they're going to regroup back here in middle of Proc's going to be holding the B push here. Now Zonic and Nuki now are falling their way back over to Hull, so it looks like this may be an A commit with support from mid with the Procs here, just making sure there's not going to be any sort of crazy 5-man stack pushing down Banana behind them. But I think they're starting to get a pretty good feel of what's going on. They are not going to be too aggressive with this, especially without a teammate right next to him. You want to be able to trade these frags. In CSGO, the pistols are just so volatile. Anything can happen, especially with the P250s being as cheap as they are right now.
And they're so powerful, P250s. Them and then Glock's close range, and actually also long range. Just pistols in general are so strong compared to 1.6 in Source. So,
yeah, and there's going to be the first committal from Kerrigan coming up mid here. Able to spot one on balcony, but not going to fire on him. Straight into the bomb site, able to take down Glaive.
Oh, wow. Great play.
And a really quick take here into the A bomb site. Bomb will be planted.
Yeah, there's not much Anexis can do right now. They just want to hold back, maybe get a couple of exit frags, and that's all they can hope for, really. This round is already lost. Has been for a long time.
Sure, yeah. I mean, anytime you run into the situation where you have mousesports playing tight-knit, playing a 3-2, there's not much you can really do with that sort of range of the P250s against 3 AKs or 3 Galils or any automatic weapon down alt mid. So it's definitely a rough round even from the get-go there, just being a situation they're in.
And the bomb looks to explode once more. Oh, Pimp is actually in a good position here. Let's see if he can make something of it. That looks weird from mousesports, but Pimp will be taken down by the collective fire of Nicky and his teammate. And that will be 2-0 for mousesports. Of course, we'll probably also pick up this third round, as we do see Anexis buying absolutely nothing apart from Nilo buying that 1 grenade. But that's it for the team, and then a couple of P250s.
Take a look at the overview here, kind of see where they're spreading their forces out this round. Looks like they can go with the same basic setup. It's definitely something that they will probably continually run on their anti-ecos. MSL is actually pushing out into Banana and may have a good angle here on a Prox. But playing a little bit scared here.
Prox is there with the bias on, and that is actually quite good against pistols. Fires a lot of bullets. Captain Obvious style here. But, oh, Nila actually coming in with a grenade. Not what Prox really should have done there, but of course, did not expect any form of grenades coming out there, and with the damage that MSL pulled early on, he was actually available, or he was able to do that. But now, the remaining parts of this terrorist team will be coming in. We do have, though, Nila here in a good position. And he will pick up the first one, grabs the Bison, goes for the second one, and he will not get it, but Pim coming in here with 1 frags. Nico still on that bomb site. Let's see if he can hold it down. It's just Kerrigan and Trobley, and they look to actually have a chance here to win this this eco round here for Anexis. Oh, Nico, great positioning. And Glaive will get the final frag. So there we go, eco round win for Anexis. Last man standing, Glaives take the kill, and that was really good play for Nilo that round. He actually picked up 2 kills and did a lot of damage to the third one.
They played the B split really, really well. One was really close to the B wall there, and they played one on top of Spool, basically baiting off each other. They initially will always check right. Now, right when they go to check right, the Spool starts shooting, and from there you can just play bait and switch, keep backing off and shooting and being more aggressive and passive as long as you can, until you're dead or they're dead. And it worked out really, really well for them.
Right. Let's see here. Nuki still trying his luck. Of course, Nico usually the guy in the middle, but he has pulled back towards the arch. Smoke came down, and he's now calling that boiler room, looking for terrorists. But yeah, only a couple of damage points being dealt towards Nila. But oh, Nico actually missed his shot there. Should have been able to pick that up, but will not in the end. Actually, Trobley is also taken down to 59. So a little bit of a trade going on as we move into the last minute of this round. And
Nico, I just want to point out Nico right now has a pretty good idea what's going on. Not watching directly inside of mid, watching over towards window, and they've got a pretty good idea this is going to be a commit towards the B bomb site. He's not really worried about any massive aggression, but a lot of trades happening over here in the B bomb site right outside of Banana. And Zonix could be able to work his way into the bomb site with bomb in hand, currently a 2 versus 3.
And the problem is that we do have Pimp locked down right now in the pit on the A-bomb side. So it's actually all up to Glaive. But he has pushed out and has taken the guy down at the bomb site. So he should actually be able to do a lot of damage here. Glaive as he comes in, but no, says Nuki. And he takes him out. So first buy round here going to mousesports, making it 3-1 on the T side of Inferno, which usually is a CT-based map.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see some switches. I mean, like we've talked about before, we'll see some sway in the way that the game's played, depending on how they decide to treat these quote-unquote imbalances. I mean, we look at them as balances as CS players, but in the end, Valve decides, kind of dictates how the weapons and grenades and costs of everything work out. And I'm wondering how much of a factor that's going to have in some of these maps. Used to be CT-sided, now that the Molotov is a little bit cheaper for the terrorists. They made some major changes to the weapon recoil, and now the Glock is just so freaking powerful. So really excited to see how it plays out.
So, of course, another eco round coming out of Anexis. Just pistols for them right now. As we see the Germans and the one Dane lining up with an entire team of AKs. We have seen those pistols being very, very strong. Let's see what's going to happen this round as 45 seconds are now gone. And the Terrors look to commit towards this middle area. They have all five players there and the bomb. But there's a lot of CTs on this A-bomb side.
Yeah, if this is played right, this really could play in the favor of Anexis. They've got a great split happening here. We talked about that bait and switch that they played earlier inside of the B-bomb site, and this is exactly what they're looking to set up here. But I don't know how effective it's going to be. They are coming from apartments and down Speedway right now, next to Car here. And Kerrigan able to peek his way out, but not able to pick one up there. There's a lot of really hard angles to hit there. It's hard to spot how many counter-terrorists you're actually facing inside the bomb site. Kerrigan lofting a nade here inside of Big Pit, right outside of apartments. And a lot of damage coming in, my God.
Yeah, he's now on 7 HP, and Nuke is also on 5. Sonics is the only guy with a lot of HP coming in for mousesports, but there's a lot of pistol fire going in, and it will go to Anexis. So really nice setup on this A-bomb side here, and it actually paid out for them in the end, winning another eco against weapons.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that kind of situation is just perfect for Anexis. They don't get too greedy. You see a lot of teams in any version of Counter-Strike, they get super greedy. They get a Glock in their hand, or they get a P250, whatever, on an eco round, and they think, well, this is all I've got, let's try to make something of it. But they seem to play really tight and together in these bomb sites, and they really try to make the most of that situation. And it seems really simple and basic, but it's not something you see a lot, even at this level of play.
So right now, once more the terrorists are lining up for this A push in the middle. This time without any automatic weapons. It's just pistols. Probably will be looking to make the first pounce here into the bomb site. Glaive takes him out. Nuki now trying his way in. Prox picking up one, but Nuki now going into the bomb site, flashing in for his teammate who is coming around the arch. Into the bomb site here. Prox in a great position. Picks up another one. Could go for the third frag in the pit, but I think Pimp has the better position. He will take him out in the end. And wonder why. Oh, Nuki actually in a great position taking out Pimp. So now it's a 2v3, but still only one weapon picked up for the terrorist team. The bomb, as MSL takes out Sonics, is still on the back of Nuki. Kerrigan also with a weapon. Oh, good damage coming in here towards MSL, leaving just Nilla to be the danger man of this situation. He has to come in, has to do some damage, maybe even get a frag as MSL pushes in with these flashbangs. Oh. He will actually go in while Nilla was flashed. Probably not the best of communication there going on from Anexis. The bomb is not yet planted, and they don't even need to. So there you go. Once more, an example of how powerful pistols can be. This is the third round, pistols versus AKs or Enforced, that has gone in the way of the side that normally shouldn't win it.
Yeah, very true. And I want to point out a play that Nuki made there inside of Big Pit. He was really ballsy, for lack of a better word. We actually played that. He knew that he had someone on his flank on his right side over towards Library, but he went ahead and pushed through and punched a hole in the CTs that were trying to work their way in. Otherwise, he was going to get pinched there in Big Pit. So it was a really great move. He just made the call. I'm going to push out. I'm going to take down one. If I die, at least we know where he is and we can trade that frag. But it worked out really, really well for him. And turned it into a 2v1 at the perfect time.
Yep. And by the way, those guys in chat saying there's some white static noise. We are aware of that. Fox is currently thinking of a way to fix it.
Yeah, and currently looks like Anexis is going to be setting up with a more untraditional setup, I guess, compared to what they've been running so far. They're going to run a normal 3-2. However, they're going to be playing 2 over in the jungle side, over towards Arch. And Zonic's able to take down Nico there, bringing it down to a 4 versus 5. Take a little bit of the oomph out of the forces here of Anexis, but still 2 over here at the Arch side. Glaive hiding inside the arch, and Pimp going to be spotting for him. So this is bait and switch setup once again. They're going to try to pull an angle, kind of bait out that angle. While Nuki works his way up here into arches. I don't know if he really... There's no way for him really to know what he's about to run into here.
He will pick up
He
Pimp,
is
though.
able to take down one.
And that leaves the entire bomb side open. As we can see right now, MSL and Nilla will be trying to flank it in, while Glaive will be going all the way through CT spawn into middle. Probably not the best route. And they will be picked apart right now in Anexis. mousesports looking to pick up their 5th round on Terry's side here of DE Inferno. And as far as I can remember, Inferno was the pick of mousesports, so they are probably pretty well aware of their skills on this map and picked it for a reason.
Yeah, and I do want to ask as well. I believe you said that the next map up is going to be Dust 2 and then Train. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct as far as I remember. Of course, Dust 2 being the pick of Anexis, which is how we do in Counter-Strike when we have a best of 3, the 3rd map. Yep, Inferno, Dust 2, Train. It is confirmed. So
excellent.
You remembered correctly.
I'm going to take a look at the overview here. It looks like Anexis is going to be pushing 2 directly down Banana here.
Aggressive play. MSL will get the jackpot with the frag through the smoke, but Sonic's coming in with the return one, taking his head off. Troubly also coming in with one, and now leaves only 2 players for the CT team. That means they have to split up, one on the B side, one on the A side, as it looks like the entire mousesports team will be going for that A push. So it's probably all onto Glaive to hold this one down all by himself.
Yeah, and Troubly's got to be really careful here, because I do know they are up in numbers. They do have the CT split here, and they have a pretty good idea that's the situation. But if Troubly gets too aggressive here, it'll suddenly be a 2 versus 2, and the CT's going to have time to rotate. There is one directly outside here. He's going to peek out, and he is able to take down Glaive. It's now a 1 versus 3 situation. Nilly going to be pushing his way up mid. Nilly, as the American says it, pushing his way up mid here, heading over towards Speedway. Back into apartments. Now, they've got just about everything covered from this angle. He's going to be hard-pressed to find a frag here, but if he can isolate and take down one, he might be able to pick it up, but it looks like he's just going to back off and save this M4 this time around. If you're just now joining us, the score is 2-5 here in the first map of the series. This is a best of 3. Next map up, I believe, is DE Train. I know I just asked that, but I wasn't sure which one was next.
Dust 2 next.
Oh, Dust 2 will be next.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we're going to see a little bit of Dust 2 action, which is actually some of the most played maps here in this tournament. Train, Dust 2, and Inferno. So this is some maps that we've been seeing a lot of throughout this tournament. Of course, if you're just joining us, as Jim has said, is of course the Fnatic FragOut tournament, where we invited a lot of teams, or actually Fnatic did, and then basically just set them up against each other for a cash prize. The first place winner will take home 1,700. Oh, 1,500 it is. Of course, dollars, cash prize. Well, actually not cash, they're going to be wired to their accounts. But still, that's a lot of cash for just an online tournament here. So big ups to Fnatic for putting it on, and big ups to the sponsors, of course, as well. They are the guys paying for this. Of course, XSplit, Avon Media, and ISO. As we move into this round here, where Nilo will be doing good damage on this bomb site, taking down 2 players all on his own, taking Nuki down to 6 HP, probably also taking Nuki down, and that is his 3rd kill of the round. Sonic's last man standing for mousesports. Oh, that's a good shot through the smoke, taking down Nico, but Pimp will be lagging in here from behind. Yeah, Pimp is sitting with 200 ping right now. That is not fortunate.
That's definitely not a situation you want to be in right now. But Zonix, like you said, 1 versus 4 right now. Going to spot one here at Spool, but quickly taken down. 6-3 is now your score. Pretty basic play here. I mean, what really set things into motion that round is you saw Troubly jump over towards alt mid. It was almost a 4-1 split all the way over towards B. Troubly by himself flashed into window for kind of a pseudo fake. Was caught off guard by the adjacent room there and quickly flanked. They were able to grab his gun and easily pinched on top of mousesports there.
So once more, we do see that double nade coming in towards Banana, but catches no one. Kerrigan is taken down to 70 HP, but yeah, when you throw 2 nades down there, you want to get a little bit more out of it. 1 nade will be returning, but MSL only taking 1 point of damage, so a lot of money being wasted for no damage at all, basically, as we do see, of course, mousesports once more splitting up, 2 in middle, towards Banana, and then 2 alt middle, and 1 towards the real middle, which is Nuki. Now grouping up to hit that A bomb side, probably. Aprox holding the Banana all on his own. The question is, where do they want to go, and where is the bomb?
I'm actually not sure. I was trying to spot that myself. There it is. The Prox just now picking it up.
So that mystery is solved. So we're probably going to see a bit of a fake in middle from our player, which is Trouble and Nuki, while they'll look to drag the CT currently at Highway or Speedway in CT spawn towards that A-bomb side, and it is working perfectly. Now I think Nilo knows what's up, and we will be switching over to MSL as he has to hold this bomb side for at least 5 seconds while his teammate is rotating around. Let's see if he can do it. MSL coming in here with 1 frag, looking for that second, but taken out by Sonics, but it's in time. Nico comes in with the AWP, looking for the frag through the smoke, but not really getting it. Nuki holding it down perfectly. Bomb is planted for the Terrace team.
3 versus 3 now, and this is a really hard bomb site. It's a lot harder than it was in the past, especially with the new recoil change. There's a lot of run and gun happening from the Terrace. And there we go. Nico taking down Nuki and Kerrigan Pimp. They're taking down Zonix here at the end of the round. That will make the score here 4-6. And my God, we saw a gun round won cleanly by Anexis here.
Oh, wow. What a surprise. And that's actually not even sarcastic, because that has been a rarity in this match so far. A lot of pistol rounds, of course, being won over guns. But yeah, 6-4 in favor of mousesports. But of course, being it is DE Inferno, not CT Inferno, which could be the new title or could be the old title actually, because back in the day, Inferno you always saw, at least in CSORs where I came from, you always saw like 10-5, 11-4, 9-6 halves, always coming out in favor of the counter-terrorist team. But right now, mousesports, the terrorist team, is leading with 2 rounds.
Trying to take a look at the overlay here. They're going to keep running the same setup. Prox will almost always put us back against the mid wall there in Banana, over to logs and back and forth. And it hasn't been working all too well. And I mean that he's not able to put on much pressure. He's really more the setup man. He's getting a lot of recon, a lot of intel for his team for mousesports, letting him know this is how many footsteps I hear. I'm ready for a flash. Let's go ahead and fake this. But so far he hasn't been able to really accomplish all that much in this more basic setup without a call for a commit. And still a 5-on-5. Trebly will fall to Glaive here. 4-on-5.
And it looks kind of like the same strat they're running now 3 times in a row almost. One guy faking, which is Trebly, on that A-bomb side, and then just running in towards the B-bomb side. And if MSL can hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, then it's not working. But right now, Kerrigan will be taking him down. 2 terrorists, though, stuck on Banana. Nuki with the bomb. Let's see how far he is in that planting process. He will get that bomb down right now, and it's going to be a hell of a lot harder for the CT side to come in, because there's 4 terrorists still alive. Sonics will hold down the Banana. Kerrigan in a good position, and Anexis not looking too good right now.
No, it's definitely a tough situation to be in, but they do have a good read on where everyone is here for mousesports. Nico working his way up through construction with the AWP in hand. Not the optimal weapon to have while entering the bomb site. He is not aware of Nuki in the back of the site, and that will end that round. Score now 7-4 in favor of Team Mousesports.
Yeah, and there was not really any way that the terrorists can lose. They have 2 AKs, they could just crossfire, the bomb was planted, and Nico was with an AWP. So if they lost that would, apart from just being absolutely amazing aim or luck coming out of Nico, that would have been totally their fault. But they managed to pull it through and get the round they were supposed to. So good work coming out of mousesports, winning that one. And yeah, once more, we do see a buy coming out of Anexis.
Now take a look at this here real quick. Wow. Glaive pushing all the way down middle right now, coming up behind a Prox. He's not going to take the shot initially. Oh! He's going to go ahead and go into the burst, down to 10% HP. Is he going to get traded here? He's got 2 Ts on 1. He is able to get a frag here. That 1 for 2 would be great, but Kerrigan able to take him down. 3-on-4 situation. Nico just down to 76, barely taking any damage in that little exchange there. And a complete shift in momentum. Suddenly Anexis looking really, really strong coming into this round. And another one from Nico. Nuki going to be the last man standing, bomb in hand, AK-47, and plenty of time to work with here, but he's got a lot of obstacles to overcome on the way up here in mid.
Let's see Nuki trying his luck. He might be faced any second now. Oh, he will be taken out by Nico. Also, great round by Nico. Just used that early bait we talked about where Glaive ran down with the FAMAS into middle, which just opened up the middle, so the terrorists weren't really aware of Nico's AWP, and he could just pick them off one at a time when they came to him, just drawing back towards the arch, taking one out and then taking one out of the crawl area. So great game sense and just positional play coming out of Nico, making him able to pick up the hat-trick this round. And yeah, also, of course, the round for Anexis, making it 7-5.
Yeah, and Nico going to pick up the aggressive position here in middle, just trying to spot down mid, but not able to find anybody. MSL getting crazy aggressive with his teammate Nilly here inside of Banana. Able to get 1, and now mousesports very intelligently backs off from that. They're not really sure what is coming. They don't know how many counter terrorists are there. Nexus has already shown to do some really wonky things, really strange things. You see some crazy pushes from them, so you got to be careful against a team such as the Nexus. 4 versus 5 currently.
Well, let's have a look what Pim can do. Also, that banana push is actually very characteristic for Nexus. They've been doing that a long time. Also, back in the Source days, they pulled that stuff out. And to a point where at Danish lands they would just be countered because people just knew they were doing it, and then yeah, it got countered. But it looks like the international teams aren't as aware of it just yet, but surely they will be soon. Nico once more immaculate with AWP taking out Nuki. Kind of weird to see Nuki AWP, but still.
Trebly has managed to be the most annoying terrorist he possibly can be this round, and that's absolutely great for mousesports, but he will be taken down there. 2 versus 5. Kerrigan just down to 19 HP. The bomb is in play still. Zonix has it in hand, but I believe he's all the way back here. Oh, no. He's just pretty close up here. They're both in pretty close proximity of each other here in alternate middle. Now Zonix going to be backing all the way back towards alt mid bridge.
And Kerrigan will be hiding out here in this room, trying to save his AK, of course, looking to take out any counter terrorists coming into this position. Sonic's doing the exact same, though, a bit more defensive, always in almost into CT spawn. Looks like Kerrigan will get 1 frag onto Glaive, which is kind of good, of course. Getting that, I think, $300 or $200 cash reward, plus denying that weapon is always good. And especially when they're as close as they are right now in scores, 7-6. Yeah, mousesports will not be able to buy, but they do have those 2 remaining AKs from the last round.
All right, taking a look at the overlay here. Looks like they're going to split into a 4-1. Aprox is going to try to do his basic setup that he normally does. A little bit of distraction over towards B. And actually, he fell back. I think he heard the footsteps over at Banana and decided that was a bad decision. They've been running with that same setup, but Anexis is showing to be a little more aggressive over at the B bomb side. They're actually halfway down Banana right now. Aprox working his way back up as the rest of mousesports now into halls, which is not being actively really watched. I mean, they're watching it from inside a pit, so once that commit happens, if they decide to hit A, and Nexus won't know until they're basically in their face. Yeah. So that may play into the hands of mousesports. Not too sure. They're playing it really passive here.
But the fact that they know they're not going banana allows Nile, right now he's going Speedway because MSL is strong back, but he can basically jump straight into that A bomb site, and then they'll have 4 guys on the bomb site to take out 5 terrorists because MSL will push all the way down banana. That's
going to be huge. I mean, they're all looking in the right directions. They're in great positions, and once again, Anexis has been really, really good, at least on their eco rounds, playing off of each other. And Nuki's going to get spotted and taken down by Glaive there. Trebly try to get in for that trade, but there's another one waiting for him inside of the bomb site here.
Oh, so good. The flashes are so good for Nexus right now. They will not be able to amount to anything right now. Oh, Aprox will be hiding in that smoke, but still the remaining parts of the mousesports team will be shut down. Oh, Sonics, though, never say never, has picked up 1, but MSL comes in from behind and makes it 7-7, so ties us up before this last round in the first half of the first map. Here in this best of 3, of course, between Anexis and mousesports.
Now, to be completely honest, Risk, I mean, coming into this, who did you think was going to be the stronger team on Inferno? I mean, obviously, you have that kind of bit where mousesports did select this map, and they seem fairly well practiced, but what do you think?
After the 2 first rounds, I would definitely say mousesports. I have my worries because they just changed the player, but they looked really good in the pistol round in the second one. And then that eco happened, and I was like, okay, this could go south.
Oh!
But actually, right now, it looks like they will get into this bomb site. Glaive is the only one defending it, but Glaive is quite good at playing Counter-Strike, so I think he can hold it.
Shooting people in the face.
He's kind of good at pressing mouse 1, dude. He's kind of talented.
That he is.
As we make a bit fun of that, we do have the push returning into middle, and Pimp is ready. Looks like he has fixed, almost fixed his connection issues.
Now we're down to pretty much, well, not even HP now. We're now down to a 3 versus 2. Aprox left with just 16 HP, working his way around towards construction. So he's going to try to come up for the flank. He has 2 wonderful targets awaiting him if he can get there without making all too much noise, but he may be a little too late. Nuki's going to be fighting 2 counter-terrorists inside the bomb site here. Aprox has got to pick up the pace as Nico working his way into pressure onto Kerrigan while he's falling back into mid, and here comes the flank, putting Nico into a little bit of disarray. Now this is dangerous here. Frox is able to take him down.
Extremely hard. And then we do have the great half. And then we go back to me. The producer's trying to tell me something, but I'm not quite listening.
He's probably telling you that there's some white noise coming from my mic, apparently.
Yeah, that seems to be a problem. But yeah, while we of course are jumping, I actually think we're gonna. No, we're not gonna have commercials. I think so. Well,
And it's all not live.
Okay, yeah. Okay, there's commercials. So we're gonna jump to a short commercial break. Hopefully, we'll be able to fix the white noise, and we'll jump straight into the second half when we're ready. Welcome back. It's ESP TV, as we probably have fixed the sound now, hopefully.
Probably.
Probably. We'll hope so. But yeah, we're almost ready here to jump into the second half of Anexis versus mousesports. I'm just going to go into the mixer here and just tune it a little bit down. As we move into the second half, of course, we saw that first half coming out between the two teams. And yeah, it was quite interesting. 8-7 coming out in the end. I actually thought mousesports could do more damage with the early lead they had, but Anexis were pretty good at coming back to the game, and now we are... No, we're not, because MSL is AFK. So there we go.
Real quick on the first half. Now, something that a lot of people may not realize is it's a lot easier to be unpredictable on the counter-terrorist side of Inferno than it is the terrorist side, because you can get so much information just by being aggressive for a split second at the beginning of the round. So Anexis, I felt, was really in a position to throw mousesports off their game. Quite often. Like, they were really able to push down. I mean, as they started figuring out the basic setup that mousesports was running, they're able to really disrupt that by throwing 2 down banana quickly or glaive all the way down mid. So I'm interested to see how they play out the terror side.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. They are jumping into that second half right now. And of course, the pistol round, as always in Counter-Strike, being so very important. Let's see, who will get that early advantage? Will it be the terrorists from Anexis, or will it be the CTs from mousesports? Already early on this round, looks like we will have a little bit of a push coming towards that banana. Sonics will be pushed back all the way into the bomb site.
And this isn't going to be a commit here. Definitely, I mean, from the beginning, it looked a little weird because they already had one all the way in alt mid. I think his entire goal looked like it was just to get intel, kind of we talked about earlier. Be the lone man. Let's see if they're pushing alt mid or how many footsteps I hear. They did find out they had at least one playing aggressive with banana, which can smell a little bit of a stack or aggressive play. A lot of times you will see teams back of the site ready to throw a flash over, push 3 out directly. So they did back off from that, being a little bit more passive at this point.
So right now, some gunfire in middle, but Terry is still not committing to anything just yet. As we move 1 minute into the round. The bomb is still on the back of glaive. Of course, the in-game leader for Anexis, and they will go into the bomb site right now. MSL will be the spearhead of this formation as we switch over to Pimp, who will be guarding the guys from behind here on that banana, as they will try to get a proc shot down so they can plant that bomb. Of course, a proc's equipped with that P250, very deadly weapon, but not deadly enough when dealing. Oh, double frag coming out of MSL there, taking down a procs, and Sonic with just one single burst of that Glock. Pimp now, of course, firing away with the P250.
I'm telling you, man, that thing's so strong.
Glock
and there strong. It is.
That was actually, that was quite an enjoyable pistol.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. The Glock, to me, it feels so different than previous versions, but it's getting learned. I mean, at first it felt very strange, but players getting very solid, and with the recent tweaks, it's just such a crazy weapon, especially in that sort of situation. 2 people, haha, don't care. Yeah, burst, both of them dead. It's awesome.
It kind of reminds me of the way the Glock was in 1.6, but just way more powerful, because you saw all those, like, weird jumps and just hopping around with the burst fire on and getting insane kills. This is kind of like the same thing, just a little bit more powerful, which is making, it's bringing us into some funny situations, like the double kill we just saw there from MSL. Actually, Aprox had to say WTF because he had no idea how that happened. And Aprox will also go down here to MSL once more, this time equipped with a P90, and yeah, he will take down a couple of frags here, but now only on 16 HP, so not that much more coming in from him, I think.
No, but I mean, we'll see how that works out. I mean, I'm surprised actually he's being so aggressive, pushing into construction here. Yeah. And that's really aggressive angle even. It's not a passive angle where you're trying to catch someone off guard. This is a I'm going to shoot you before you see me angle. So it's a little surprising with that much HP, but it is a 1 versus 5. Obviously, they want to try and make it out with as much ammunition and, I'm sorry, not ammunition, actual hardware that they can. Yeah. And Trebly going to turn around at the exact wrong time. MSL will take him down. That's frustrating.
That was almost like MSL could have gone just straight behind him and poked him on the back and say, hello, and then just take him out because, yeah, he was looking the complete wrong direction. And it's going to be 2-0, probably also 3-0 because mousesports, of course, as we see usually, just on pistols here in this third round.
All right, take a look at the overview here. They're going to be splitting 4 into alt. Glaive by himself in mid, and Trebly going to get crazy aggressive here in halls. Oh my gosh, he did spot. Oh, Trebly.
Yeah, he will be taken out by the AK of the terrorists there, and that leaves only 3 players remaining from Team mousesports, and one of them will be taken out any second now. Nuki on 3 HP. Grenade coming in from Pimp, and the bomb will get planted for that terrorist side.
Yep, 2 on 4 now. Once again, just a save round here, but mousesports played it fairly well. They're able to get 2 guns down so far. That's a small victory all in its own, costing money.
Wow.
Wow. That was unexpected. Yeah. I didn't see that coming.
Oh, wow, from Sonics. What a great headshot.
Good lord. MSL going to be the last man standing here.
Shoot.
On back of rail in sight. I don't really know if he's going to be able to hold that back.
Well, the P90 is strong, but wow, Sonics is stronger, picking up the third kill of the round in an eco, and he might be able to defuse the bomb.
It's going to be close. And nope, see you later. Kaboom. Sonics done there. 3-0 now in the second half. No, I mean, I noticed there for like half that round, I was making statements with a question mark at the end the entire time because my whole sense of reality of what should be possible completely was warped for a second. I couldn't figure out how some of these shots are being hit by mousesports there. That was great. Really, really solid save round. Just because they lost that round, that was actually a big victory for them because coming into those, you don't expect to win them. They're doing a lot of economic damage there to Anexis.
And to be honest, even though there's a lot of people saying that guns are too powerful, etc., as a spectator game or sport or whatever you want to call it, it actually does a big deal because usually in Counter-Strike you say, okay, they win the pistol, then that's 3-0 automatically. But with the guns being so strong, we almost saw mousesports coming in there grabbing that third round only with pistols, and it makes the game more unpredictable and therefore also a little bit more exciting because you don't know what's going to happen, and that's I think is a good thing for Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I think so in a way. I mean, a lot of the competitors may disagree, but as a spectator, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I hate it myself.
We'll see an aggressive play from Pimp as he was by himself. I say that's aggressive because that's not necessarily a good idea. He was the only one picking there in middle, and he was punished for it, down to 18 HP now. Glaive has the bomb in hand, and Pimp's probably not going to make it up mid if they decide to actually commit here. I mean, he's got a lot to overcome here with just, oh my god, Pimp completely proving me wrong at 180.
Oh,
Headshot onto Nookie there. It's a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, Kerrigan was really supposed to pick up that frag, but Nille just storms into the bomb side and picks up the double. Goes for the frag here against Nille, but Nille taken out here. Sonics taking him out. 2v2 coming into the bomb side. Nico's in pit. On the side, actually. Wow. The orb on the side, which is not the usual constellation you see in that 2v2. And he will pick up the double frag, though. Not expecting an orb on the side at all here, mousesports. And that will be 4-0 for Anexis.
I'm sorry for the random freak out. I'm not sure if you actually caught that, but I mean, as I'm talking about Pimp being stuck in the middle of a crossfire if he goes up mid, oh, there's no way he'll ever make it out of this. Looking over towards right mid, gets shot at by one bullet in the middle of a full auto magazine, turns around and 2 shots somebody in middle. So I was completely wrong. Please forgive me. Oh God, Pimp. Do not Pimp slap me. I apologize.
Oh, it's going to sound wrong, but I would personally love to see that.
Well, I appreciate it. Question mark?
Yeah, it's like all the Danish guys know Pimp, and just I love the guy though. He's an amazing person.
Prox able to push down Banana. He will. What? Takes down Nico with the second frag of the round for him so far. It's a 3 versus 3, and suddenly mousesports happens. I'm telling you, it's really volatile area to be. I mean, having only one pushing the Banana, I think we're going to see that change as far as the quote-unquote metagame goes. Pushing one in there on anti-ecos is so dangerous because you never know what's going to happen with P250s being so cheap. You will never be without one. And he was able to do a lot of damage to the bottom Banana. Anyway, back to the action. So 2 versus 3 right now. Yeah,
we do have a Prox. He has picked up the AK. Probably will be looking to grab an exit frag and just save his weapon. Sonic's just here with the P250. Of course, would love to grab an M4 or an AK, no, just an AK, no M4s in play right now, but yeah, no chance, so he'll just deny the cash reward and make it 5-0 for Anexis. So they are now, how many rounds? That was 8-7 in the, yeah, 13 now, 13-7 is the score in favor of Anexis, so looking quite good right now.
Yeah, looking great coming in here. Now, once again, if you guys are just now joining us, this is the Fnatic FragOut. Now, this is a best-of-3 matchup between these two. This is the first map of the series. First half score was 8-7, I believe, in favor of Anexis.
Yep. And yeah, we do have the second buy round coming in here, as MSL will be cleaning out Sonics together with his teammate, leaving just a Proc standing on this B bomb side. And funnily enough, he chose to peek out there, which is not usually what you see when you know there's 2 terrorists out there and you're all alone on that B bomb side. But yeah, kind of ballsy move. Did not really.
It's a terrible, terrible feeling, man. I don't know if you've ever seen like Paranormal Activity where you know something terrible is about to happen. That's how you feel the entire time when you're solo. Wow. Oh my God, Nico taking out Nookie there. Nookie.
And that's why Nico is so highly regarded in the Danish Counter-Strike scene as probably the best AWPer. In a long time, at least in Source he was. Of course, we had some great 1.6 AWPers as well. But Nico, right now, seemingly transitions into Go just fine. Picking off everyone right now with the AWP. That's his 3rd kill of the round. And only at 73 HP, just shows how well he exchanges these frags for HP. And that is 6-0 for Nexus on the T side on Inferno.
Yeah, and we're coming up towards the end of the match. I mean, that is if mousesports doesn't have an answer on the counter-terrorist side. That's what I was talking about earlier. I felt that Anexis may be a little more prone to being unexpected. Yeah. I mean, maybe a little more fluid. You got to be like water. Be like water, fluid. You become your surroundings, man. Like, they really saw what mousesports was doing, were able to push in, and mousesports not able to react in this situation. Yeah. I mean, right now you see Zonix falling back. They like to play this more passive style. They like to play support, and that's great. But sometimes when you're down this much, it's time to make that call. Let's get a little crazy. Let's do something quote-unquote wonky. But right now, 6-0 in the second half. Definitely not over by any means. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yep. But also, like, the fact you're behind 0-6, you have to do something different, because if you lose 6 rounds in a row in a map that's usually CT-sided and you're CT, then there's obviously something wrong, and maybe that passive playstyle is not what's going to win you this game, and you have to change it around. You have to pull out the wonky plays, pull out the crazy aggressive action, and not looking like it right now. They're just holding back. Sonic's drawing towards the A bomb site, which is where the bomb is, but Pimp is just removing Nuki, and Karrigan is left for dead, as Sonics will be holding down this arch area. Oh, he will be picked off by Pimp, and that is his third of the round. Going for the ace here. He might pick up a fourth any second. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, Pimp finds one, and there it is.
And that leaves Karrigan all alone. 1v2.
It does.
And Pimp on the brawl for an ace.
And I was going to say, there for a second, it really almost was. I mean, if you just looked at it as pure statistics, it was in favor of mousesports.
Yeah,
but they
definitely
waited a little long because Anexis was able to group back up, and you don't want to let the T's do that. When you have the opportunity to isolate, you want to take that advantage. Seems pretty simple, but it's not always that easy. And there we go.
Wow.
Okay, and what?
That was so weird. Like, Pimp just had a flawless round and then just completely fucks up at the end of it. But yeah, of course, he had MSL there, so no harm done. They will win the round no matter what. They had the bomb down, so yeah. Basically no way they could lose it, but still, it's 7 now. 7-0. They need one more round, and they are done on Inferno. And they will be moving on to their map of choice, which is Dust 2. So everything looking really bright there right now for the Danes of Anexis.
You know, you always got to take into the factor or into account what it feels like right now to be in the shoes of mousesports, because sometimes when you end up this far behind coming in the second half, it's like, well, guys, we've got possibly 2 more maps to go. Yeah. Don't worry. But that's dangerous because you want every round you can get, and oh my gosh, Aprox. Perfect timing on that peak, taking down MSL.
And yeah, I really like the way that or Anexis are playing right now, because as you can see on the scoreboard, all the players that are supposed to get frags, especially Nico the AWP, getting probably a frag more, 1 or 2 frags more than he's supposed to. They're just playing out the roles perfectly. Glaive, usually in the Danish scene, as we do have Karrigan exchanging here. Glaive usually map fragger, but now has to step down from that role to pick up the in-game leader role, is playing out that perfectly as well. Not getting as many kills, actually 0, but still he's leading his team into those frags. Here will pick up his first one, and probably also the second anytime soon. As he wraps around and picks up Sonic's great play, opening up that bomb site, but this could actually be a round for Mouse.
It sure looks like it. I mean, Anexis right now, obviously not in the best spot. 2 versus 3, but they do have the choke here. If they're able to, once again, there it is. Pimp taking down 1, and that's what's dangerous. Pimp with another one. It is a 2 versus 1. Troubly, last man standing, and plenty of time to work with. Taking down 1, and the second one with the running fadeaway headshot.
Yeah. Taking
down Pimp at the end of the round there. First round on the board here, coming into the second half of this best of 3. First game.
Yeah. Backs against the wall right now. They need to win the rest of their rounds to bring it into overtime. So, but to be honest, mousesports are a great side, and I could see them doing it, but it's not the most likely thing right now. Especially not seeing how well Nico is playing right now and Pimp. But no matter what, they will be ecoing. Oh, okay. So they don't have that much money apart from MSL.
All right, so Troubly is either about to have the best or worst day ever. He's peeking his way down stairway, able to take down 2 and 3. There it is. So it is a pretty good day to be Troubly. His last man standing is now Glaive in a 1 versus 5, P250 in hand. Maybe able to just get the bomb down. I don't know. I mean, they're really not hurting for it all too much.
Wow. This is
an interesting situation. Yeah. It's like when you get handed that huge bag of candy and you're like, man, I'm going to be fat as shit if I eat all this. But I don't know. That's the worst.
It's going to taste so good.
It's going to taste so good. So you get nervous. You're like, should I eat it? How should I eat it?
Yeah.
What should I start with?
Should I start?
And you just get overwhelmed and you just have a heart attack and die. And that's exactly what happened. Save the analogy.
That was wow. Wow, that was great. That was great. That was probably a better save than the comeback mousesports are going to pull. I'm just putting that out there.
2-7 now is the score in the second half.
Oh, wow. So we'll be seeing another buy round, of course, from Anexis. They were ecoing the last one, of course, not looking to lose it, but probably not looking to win it. And Nico once more. Look at these AWP skills. That man is a beast. He just picked off Nuki with a headshot even. He didn't even need to shoot him in the head, but still did because, well, he's Nico, and that's how he rolls. And, yeah, 1-man advantage early on for the terrorists, which is, of course, amazing because they can bomb rush an entire bomb side, no pun intended, and... Well, 5v 2 or 3 is always gonna, or almost always gonna come out for the terrorist if they don't fuck up.
Very, very true. 4 versus 4, working the way into the bomb site. And as always, when you're in this kind of numbers ratio, it's going to fall in the favor of the Terrorist unless the Prox can make something happen here. Does spot one back at site. Now backing away. We'll see if we see a solid group up here. Wow. Already a 2-on-4.
Let's see here. Nico has to pick up this one, but he misses his shot. Oh, that's unfortunate for Nico, but someone picks it up through the smoke, or through that wall there it was. But in the end, mousesports will be coming into the site, cleaning it up. Great play by them. Now, 3 rounds into this one, 7-3.
7-3 indeed. Mouse now making some plays, getting stuff done here. You know, once again, this is really a clash of play styles. I mean, obviously, I don't have a ton of background on either team in CSGO personally, but I'm already seeing a pretty big clash in game styles. You know, I really feel like mousesports is more of the traditional style. If they take the bomb site, fall back, don't try to hold them off. We'll regroup as a team and try to take the site. Where Anexis is like, YOLO! And they just run in the middle of the bomb site and shoot everything in the face. So it's definitely a great matchup so far.
Yeah, and I'm just going to put out another analogy or something after this push. Interesting
stuff. Yeah, now a Prox here going to be at Spool in a great position. And an anti-eco, take it down 2, finding the 3rd. Nico has snuck up very close. And will he get the ace here? That's a 4K. Whoa!
Wow! A Prox coming in with the 5 kills, 1 bullets, the last guy with the P2000, which, by the way, is the worst pistol in the game at the moment, but a Prox doesn't care. He's a Prox. He just says, yeah, he says YOLO and just takes the ace.
He doesn't ever afraid, bro. Yeah. He doesn't ever afraid.
But what I was about to say is that the age of the entire Anexis team is fairly low compared to the mousesports team, where we have players like Trouble and Nuki who are around that 24-year age, while Anexis, almost the entire lineup is below those 20 years, all apart from Nico. So yeah, very young lineup. Yeah. So kind of having that young spirit, just going into things, just saying YOLO and just fucking shit up. And that's what they're doing. And so far, they're pretty close to winning this match by doing that.
You know, I'm hearing conflicting results here in chat. I just glanced over, people saying that we may be wrong on the score. We just know it's close. That's all we know in the first half. 2 versus 2 right now.
The chat always knows. That's the
chat always knows. Customer is always right. Kerrigan on the way into the bomb site, and a lot of pressure going in.
Wow, how did he escape that one?
I have no idea. I was actually about to ask that myself.
Oh, he didn't see him.
Oh my God! He will take down Nico.
He's gonna go for the defuse.
And the smoke's gonna be in his favor, but Glaive knows where the bomb is planted. We'll be able to take him down.
Oh, so it looks like we were wrong. It was 8-7 in favor of mousesports.
See, we were wrong.
Yeah, so now it is 15 rounds. We can bring out the whole backs against the wall thing once again.
They're still pretty close. Now, I do want to formally apologize on behalf of ES Planet and myself for using the word YOLO and causing all sorts of chaos inside of the chat.
Sorry. We're not
will never happen again. Really. But, you know, you only live once, so might as well use it. Okay, 4 versus 5 suddenly. MSL going to fall here to a Proxys op. Over here at the B-bomb side, playing maybe a little too aggressive by himself. That may have just been the call, though. Seems like they've been trying to work that setup. Both teams coming into the beginning of just about every round so far. We've seen them playing that solo B.
Oh, wow.
Not easy to trade that frag, but Pimp taking down 1. You got to trade that. Nuki will be able to take him down.
Yeah, Pimp was actually inches away from getting a double kill with just 1 or 2 bullets with the AK, but just slightly missed it. And we will see actually 1 frag going in there, and Sonic's looking to come and get the revenge frag, as we just see Nico now remaining 1v3. He does have the bomb though, and he's going into this B-bomb side, which at the moment only a Prox. But a Prox is with an orb, and unless Nico flashes or does something crazy, actually he gets away.
Yeah, a Prox was playing a kind of crazy angle there and was able to get it baited out, and what just happened?
This sucks. I can now tell you that Nico actually clutched that 1v3. But the Go TV did not have the command that disables map change for viewers. So yeah, we just missed an awesome 1v3 from Nico winning the game.
We could pretend like we just casted that entire round.
My God, Nico!
Yeah, in like a 4 times speed. You know, like that craziness that happens in HLTV sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Man, that was a little bit of
and
upset there.
This is like I had a Twitter discussion, which is, by the way, the best place to have discussions with people you don't agree with. With Reckon and Lurpis, Twitter, of course. the best place to have a public discussion. Yeah.
Did you say Lurpus?
Yeah, not really discussion, actually. It was just me, Lurpus.
He's a big fan of mine, I hear.
Oh, awesome. But yeah, I discussed about that whole thing with yeah, okay, actually, we're going to cut to a commercial, I'm being told. So I'm going to continue the analogy after the break. See you then. Welcome back to ES Planet TV. My name is Risk and I'm joined by Jimmy Wissenhunt coming in to the second map of this best of 3, which is going to be DDoS 2 versus, of course, between mousesports and Anexis. And Nico just clutched Inferno by doing a 1v3. They apologize on the server right now. Nico promises that the movie makers will take care of it, so you will see that 1v3 somewhere on HLTV or wherever you go.
Good to hear.
So thank you, Nico, for taking care of that. But yeah.
He must have said that just because he got the craziest triple kill with one off shot.
I actually think it was, well, Carrigan was like, don't blah 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 1v3, and then Carrigan, it's good. Like he doesn't want to see that again. And I was like, no, I'm not wanting to see that again. But yeah, we're moving into DDoS 2 now, and looks like the players are ready and the logos fit. Thank God. And yeah, we'll be ready to go as soon as Nico is done doing something. He says 2 seconds. And yeah, Jimmy, of course, moving into the second map. Anexis being one up. Do you think mousesports can take it into a third?
And I think they could, but I mean, so seeing the way Anexis was playing CT side on Inferno, this is a map where there's a really fine line you can walk with their play style. It seems like they've really been practicing kind of this bait and switch but aggressive game style. They're not so concerned with trades as much as they are. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. It's kind of a weird thing that they're doing. It seems really simple, but realistically, they push 2 people out of a site, which seems like, oh, we're going to trade this. But realistically, they're just like, we're going to shoot them before they shoot us. It's like their entire objective when they do something like that. It's not like some super well thought out thing. Dust 2 is a map where you can do that sort of stuff. But mousesports has been together, and they've been playing very, very well, very tight that entire last map. So if they catch on to that on the terrorist side, I think that they'll be able to take into a third. I am scared, though, that Anexis will do something crazy. Yeah,
and they might do something crazy. They are some pretty crazy players. And of course, if you want to see these guys in a LAN environment, I can advise you to tune into HK LAN, which we will be covering on site. We bought lights and everything. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be 2 weeks from now.
HK LAN?
And yeah. it's going to be pretty awesome. And yeah, we're jumping. Oh, MSL is AFK once more. Again, says Sonics.
Again.
Oh, wow.
People keep yelling about some story. I mean, should I have said that or should I have completely ignored that? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I was like, I think I was finishing something, but I totally forgot what it was. I'm getting old, dude. Like,
I'm getting old.
I'm 20 and I keep forgetting.
You're 20?
Yeah.
And you're getting old?
Yeah, I'm getting old, man. I keep forgetting things. That might just not be the age. That must be the immense amounts of alcohol I've taken in during the last 3 years.
See, I mean, that's a little more logical. I mean, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, there we go. Esports is a business where you get drunk all of the time. And party. And do...
Yeah, it's kind of hard to avoid that. I mean, it's just like, I'm going to be at this event on time. And everyone's like, hey, free alcohol. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, actually... I think the funniest, the time in esports where I laughed the most was an interview or like some kind of, it was supposed to be an interview but turned out to just be trash talk between StarCraft 2 players, where they just started talking about a DreamHack after party and then just made up bullshit stories. And then Huck was like, if you know Huck, the StarCraft player, he was like, yeah, I remember like snorting coke off this hooker's back.
Oh,
and
I heard about this.
Like, oh yeah, I remember that.
I heard that.
Some people actually thought that shit was legit.
It got big. People were like, man, yeah, Huck was sniffing blow off some hookers' asses and doing body shots with supermodels and Stefano and like all this crazy shit. It's like, what?
The fun thing is actually when you go out, we were out for like 15 minutes because the bar was shit at an after party for DreamHack Winter, and the first thing we saw was just Stefano just taking chips from the bar and just throwing them all over the place. So I'm actually kind of wondering if those stories might just be a little bit true.
Or at least how much of it. I mean, there's always a little bit of truth to something like that.
Yeah.
Granted, you could probably take out the blow in the hookers and maybe the body shots with Stefano. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure about that guy. He seems to be capable of everything. But going into Counter-Strike now, switching over from StarCraft, and that was a great transition. Now we're going to jump into the knife round here on DDoS 2, which is going to, of course, decide what team starting CT or T. Mostly in this map, it's the Terrace side that is favored. But let's see here. Just going to go down. And, oh, looks like...
all right, Nico trying to set himself up for a Confederacy Jacobson moment here. One versus... Ooh, never mind.
Not
I lied.
Denied.
You have to start, in these knife rounds, you always have to assume that guy is going to kill all 5 of them. Otherwise, you just look like a jackass when he does.
Oh, shit, that didn't happen. But, yeah, okay. So, mousesports is going to stay CT. Which is kind of... Well, I'm not quite sure. Really, in Go anyways, in DDoS 2. In Go, the statistics say that DDoS 2 is actually the most balanced map out of all. So it might be just personal preference of the team. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, if you just had a map that was flat with no walls, that would probably be the most balanced map. So I don't know how much into, like, how much I would take that into account. How has the feedback been from a lot of these competitors playing Dust 2 in these tournaments?
Well, to be honest, I've talked to a few of them, but not really a lot, as we see MSL picking up the double frag, once more the Glock being very powerful. But yeah, Dust 2 is of course the map that everyone have played like a gazillion times.
Sure.
Everyone plays it on deathmatch, so not many people like that much, like, because it's so overplayed, and you can basically just play reactionary on it, don't even need strats.
Well, and I think a lot of it is too, like, the way some of these sites are set up. I mean, just personally, I mean, the way you have to defend the A-bomb site and the way that you kind of have to play it if you're in a 1v question mark. I mean, it doesn't feel like a lot of the other maps. So that's why I think it's always been 1.6 Source and now Go, one of the more questionable maps. I mean, it's hard to call it because you can have the most local, never heard of team go up against some... They can do well.
Something happened to the sound. Just to kind of carry on here, as you can see, you're picking up one. I think your mic just did something. You're very low now. Okay, we're just gonna let Jimmy see if we can fix that. As we do.
That should be solved.
Okay, it's still a bit low, but it should be alright. We do have, of course, the bomb being planted out for the Terrace side. 2 players remaining for the CTs, and they will be taken out now. So, 2-0, and moving into the third round of this DD2 map. Anexis up 2-0, that is. Oh yeah, Jimmy's gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. I'm here. I'm
back.
here. I want to apologize for my crappy USB sound card that apparently is taking a dump right now.
Oh, that's okay. You are forgiven. On behalf of the chat.
Excellent. All right, so let's take a look at the setup here. Proc's going to be pushing his way in by himself into the pit. Trubly and Kerrigan were over at long. Zonix as well, now falling right over towards B. What happened?
Nico just did the most... I don't even know how he angled that Gork shot around. And then he just missed 3 in a row. But they are into the B bomb site now, without no damage being dealt, of course. Only by Trubly here. But Nico, I have no idea how he angled that shot. But Trubly once more picked up the double with the pistol. But in the end, it's going to go to Anexis. And I really like what they did, Anexis. They kind of like fake pushed into A and then just let 2 guys slowly push into B, just walking in there without making any noise. Just took out the guy and then just said, hey, B is free. Let's just hold this one down and win it. And that they did.
That's one of the more safe options. I mean, just for people out there who do play, is to try to work solo or 2 into B. Yeah. Long is so much more dangerous because it may seem clear, and there's just too many angles of attack for the counter-terrorist. It may be one of those moments where you push all the way up, you kill one guy, and you're like, hey, I got A! And then there's just 4 other people from 16 angles somehow magically. I mean, it's so hard to take A sometimes. Yeah. You have no idea what's going on in these anti-ecos.
That is true. And we do, of course, have the first Byron here. Nuki AWPing in middle. And, of course, being a long-time Counter-Strike player, Counter-Strike Source player, and also viewer, seeing Nuki with the mouse tag is kind of weird. Because this guy has been with MTW for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years. Being contracted with MTW. And, of course, Mouse and MTW being the 2 major rival organizations in Germany. Now MTW has stripped down. Nuki without contract being picked up by Mouse. And, yeah... mousesports now looking like, in my eyes, the strongest EPS team now in Germany.
For sure. I mean, it is very strange seeing a lot of these players coming into different organizations and playing with, I don't know, sometimes even some of these dream teams are getting formed. I mean, for example, I mean, if you would have told me the roster for NIP was going to be together in a new Counter-Strike, I would have just shit a brick and then said, no way. Yeah. I mean, it's really cool to see those players forming up under different names.
Yeah, to be honest, and if you told me, like, the new Talk lineup with Steel and Modi and Hutch G, if you said that to me like 2 years ago, there's going to be new games.
Whoa! Pips taking down Sonics. That was a great run by Shot.
And in the middle of all that, everyone is almost dead now. Only Pip remaining. And he's in a 1v3 with only 5 seconds remaining. So yeah, he will not be winning this one. That's for sure.
Yeah, no time left. Pimp will get out of the round alive with that AK-47. Score now 3-1 in favor of Anexis, guys. This is the first half of the second map. Now, if Anexis is able to pick this one up, it's looking pretty good for him.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to take the series.
But yeah, of course, what awaits the winner of this game is, not to say anything bad about Vero games, but probably the easier semi-final. Because there's 2 teams already qualified into the semi-finals, number 1 from each group. That is Vero Games, who's going to play against the winner of this game, and then NIP in the other semi-final. And right now, NIP are almost untouchable. Vero Games did a big deal of damage towards them in the match they played on being nuke. But that was kind of it. And then NIP came back because they are unholy.
The comeback kings?
Yeah, yep. I don't even... I'm lacking words. I've casted so many games with these guys, and I'm like... I don't know how they do it, but they're just amazing at the game.
And currently a 4 versus 5, 3 versus 5 now as Pimp takes down Zonix. Numbers favor, of course, to Anexis as they try to work their way into the B bomb site. Bomb's going to be in the hands of MSL. Now realizing that it's completely clear, the bomb will be headed up this direction. 2 versus 4 currently. Looks like Trubly's all the way over with his teammate inside of middle, heading into lower B. I do think they're actually going to try to go for this one. Yeah, Kerrigan now heading back towards the A bomb site. Yeah, and that's a shame that Trubly loses the gun there.
Yep, I wasn't really sure about what was going on. I thought they were going to flank it, but Kerrigan just went back while Trubly went into tunnels. But yeah, didn't really work out for mousesports in the end, and Kerrigan would be the last man standing. Probably looking for a couple of peeks in middle. Sees 2, or maybe just 1, and knows that there will be 1 in CT spawn at least. But yeah, he will save his guns 1 more, and yeah, 4-1 is going to be the score in favor of Anexis.
4-1 indeed. I mean, currently on the scoreboard here for Anexis, MSL on top, 7-1. Nearly right below him, 5-2. Actually, Pimp has yet to die so far.
And to be honest, Anexis are right now riding the wave of self-confidence because mousesports had a good start on that T side in Inferno, and then it was basically all Anexis. They lost a couple of rounds, well played by Mouse, but to be honest, Anexis have had the upper hand in the fighting in the entire second half almost, apart from the little dents in the end, but now being up 4-1 here in the second map, they must really feel confident right now.
Yeah, Glaive is trying to peek into the B-bomb site. He does spot Zonix by double box there in sight. A lot of nades going to be coming in. Wow, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, wow.
Zonix will finally fall here. Bomb is in play. Don't believe it's actually been spotted just yet.
And
but
there will be backstabbing, and they'll be running into the B-bomb site, getting all the kills, having all the fun, and Kerrigan will be the last man standing. He will actually, wow, be picking up Glaive, who just runs straight out there without even looking. And not even to pick up the second one.
All right, 5-1 so far, pretty convincing in favor of Anexis.
Yeah.
Really nothing too like crazy. They're playing reactive on the terrorist side, which you'll see a lot of, but I mean more so it's usually the CTs playing more Titan setups, maybe the 2-1-2, trying to push into middle, off cat, things like that. But Anexis is really just playing more of a default setup. Yeah. Just a basic structure and trying to figure out exactly how they're playing it. Because right now, if you take a look, mousesports is pushing a whole bunch of people, 4 total, through long. And MSL is going to be set up in the right position to take down one. And
wow!
And Nico saving his life, but he will fall. And there it is. Only able to get 1 frag on that eco round.
Yeah. And to be honest, that whole reactionary thing with the T side on this too is something that these players in their individual teams, Glaive, Nilla, and MSL have been playing a lot together back in the day. But also Pimp and Nico on their respective teams back in the Source days. That was something they did a lot. Like this reactionary play, just having a default strat set up as terrorist and then just working it out. Like, okay, we've got to kill on A, then we might fake it onto A and then go B. Or just like basic stuff. Yeah. And it just works because...
They fill in the blanks really well. Really. I mean, when you play together for that long, you really form some chemistry and you're able to fill in those blanks. Uh-oh, Nookie's spotted there and Nilly will fall. So 4 versus 5 now, MSL. Trying to flash out mid. I know they're trying to get that op down, but I mean, at this point, fell all the way back into the B bomb site as I fail to English.
Oh, L to English, man. Will be,
and they've split out a mid here.
Yeah, they will be hitting up that B bomb site, but Sonic stands in the way, taking out the double. Pimp answering back though with an AK headshot. Nifty little shot. They're going in for the second one. Wow, from Pimp right now. Nico coming in from behind, I think, as well. He needs some backup though, Pimp. And he will be, Nico that is, will be all alone.
Yeah, there were some great support flashes coming in that really pushed back Anexis into the corners that Mouse wanted them in. I mean, the obvious places. They really didn't give him a chance to get in the bomb site and get set up. They're great reactionary flashes. Kerrigan played it really, really well through the window, waiting for that right time to peek in and take a couple of the members of Anexis down. But 1 versus 3 with the AWP in hand, just 23 HP versus automatic weapons. Obviously not the most favorable position to be in here, but he may be able to pick something like this up. He just needs to find someone peeking. But right now, Mouse playing this super patient and very smart. It's not going to give them the opportunity. I mean, even in that situation, if Prox, as he swings out, Kerrigan, Nico would have been forced to look right at him, and Kerrigan would have been able to pick up that frag. So well set up, well played. Great job there by mousesports. Score now 6-2.
Yeah, and we of course will be seeing another buy around. Anexis does have some cash stored in. Actually, we see Nilla after buying still with 62k, so a lot of cash right now in the hands of the terrorists. They will invest heavily into weapons and will be pushing straight into this B bomb site. And Orb just running in with his back first. MSL will need to pick off Sonics, but Sonics has been playing this one out very nicely, only on 2 HP, but Nuki coming in with the backup. Looks like Mouse will have a flawless round right now, as only Glaive is remaining. Mouse moves, and he'll be taken out by Kerrigan as well.
Yeah, Zonix magically making it out of that round alive, and that was Anexis's let's just take the bomb site play. I mean, there really wasn't too much to it. The flashes came in really, really well for mousesports, but I'm not sure if they reacted properly to it. It just fell into their hands because Anexis was forced onto plat. They knew they couldn't take the bomb site, and just well played.
Yeah, we'll see, of course, the bomb now on the back of MSL. Another buy comes in, and surprisingly enough, not completely dry, but still not enough to buy orbs and all the nades they need, so they need to do some damage, get some kills this round at least, not another smackdown like the one we just saw. But yeah, still, mousesports playing it out very patiently, and X is looking to go onto short, which will mean troubly. It's gonna be in trouble. I was like, think I should say that, and that was probably one of the worst puns.
All right, Bomb has been dropped off to Nico here at Catwalk. Pimp's going to be watching mid, and it's definitely going to be an A commit, as Nico's now joining his teammates here at Cat, as MSL is going to try to provide either a flank or distraction here at Long. But they are playing really aggressive. If he waits long enough, but he might not have the opportunity, he may be able to pick up some of the A ramp frags as they try to take up Cat. But he knows there's one pushed over near Pit right now. We'll see how this plays out, and now the flashbangs are coming in from the terrorist.
That's very interesting to play, but he will be picked off.
And I saw that. I wasn't sure if he actually got spotted, but it looks like not a problem there for mousesports. 3 versus 5 now. And this is rough because now Anexis is forced to push back, and they're going to have to make a bunch of noise on the way over towards B if that's where they choose to go, and it looks like that is the case.
Yeah, let's see here what Pim can do. Coming in with the AK-47 sight. And my microphone is being corrected. Well, mousesports are taking the round win here. So, we're going to look at a score that says 6-4 in favour of Anexis. On that T side, very balanced game so far. Anexis having the early lead, but then mousesports bouncing back. And now Anexis finding themselves on an eco round.
Yeah, definitely anyone's game still. Plenty of rounds left here in the first half of this second map. This is a best of 3.
Oh, Nuki was so close to actually needing a double frag.
Ooh.
Will be taken out ever so early on. See here, Kerrigan under heavy fire in the pit, but 4 HP will not survive. As double frag actually goes down at Long. So, more successful here in the eco round than they were in the previous 2 rounds. Especially that one where they went B. Got no kills, but now in the eco they've got 2. And Pimp still alive with an AK-47.
And Pimp's still here in Pit, and a minute 3 to work with. Bomb is down, and he's being pinched here. He can't quite go out long as he is covered. And they're 2 over towards A, covering cross and down long. Nuki most likely not going to be too aggressive with it. Oh, maybe so. Going to peek out here.
That was his chance.
Playing it safe.
But not looking like him can take advantage of it. Of course, he is way more flashed than we are right now on Go to B, so he couldn't see a thing right there. And yeah, that evolves into him being killed. And the round going in the favor of mousesports.
Yep, like we just said, very even match so far. I mean, you know, I'm still so blown away, and there's something to point out is that I keep saying Nico, he will use burst fire at extreme distances.
Yeah, I actually noticed that as well.
I'm wondering, I'm not sure exactly why, maybe just had great luck with it, but uh-oh, hold that thought, lower B push coming in.
Oh, Troubley will be picking up Pimp and probably looking to take out Nico as well as his teammate will push in. And Nico might get pinned here. He is able to draw all the way back into spawn, but right now, big map control coming out of the CTs. They have the entire long area covered by a prox, and they have the entire tunnels area, and Nuki is in middle without AWP. So right now, Anexis need 1 or 2 frags before they can do anything in this round. They are just, yeah, pushed back all the way into their own spawn right now.
Yeah, and it's not hard to do the math here on mousesports. I mean, they push all the way in. There's no 1B. There's 3 left. They saw one that fell back to spawn. They're probably going A. So they're going to start setting up for more of a mid-heavy / A setup. So they're quick on the flank. And Nuki's going to be pushing into mid. He has the op watching up towards the old green box area near dark spot in mid. Now he's not going to find much other than a flash directly in his face.
Yeah, you never get...
Not much time left in this round.
Yeah, 30 seconds. And we do see the entire terrorist team, which is right now just 3 terrorists, probably looking to go for that B push. Troubley is in middle, but only with 39 HP. And who is it in B? That is Sonics. So Troubley and Sonics approximately will be on the A-bomb side. And I like the way that Mouse are playing this. They put the guys with the low HP on the site that they now found out that Anexis aren't going. So Prox will be sitting there with his 20. Kerrigan will be backstabbing, and yeah, Anexis will just be saving their money. Or their weapons, at least. Or trying to, at least.
All right, all tied up here. 6-6 is now your score.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard so far. We do see Kerrigan for mousesports sitting at 8 frags to 7. So the only Danish player on the lineup actually top fragging. Yes! Denmark.
There's a big win there.
Yeah, we don't have like a whole America thing, but we can just say Kerrigan!
America thing.
Instead, that's what we say in Denmark. We just say Kerrigan, and then everyone's like, woo! Waving flags and shit. Firing cannons.
BR. Okay, so setup is going. They're going to be running here is 2 in mid, working up towards Catwalk. Nico back of mid, trying to spot Nuki here. Not going to find him, though. Bomb will be dropped off by MSL, or at least joining the rest of his team. Pimp still trying to provide a distraction over towards the B bomb site. Just trying to keep them at bay. Want to make sure that mousesports can't like be 100% positive on the take. We'll see what he does for distraction. I'll keep you updated over there while you stay in the middle of the action. Actually, the bomb is now headed over towards B.
Yeah, looks like
interesting.
They will wrap around here, as we do have one guy in CT spawn already from the Terrace team, and they will just overpower Sonics. We're trying to find Nuki here on the back of the bomb site. Will be taken out by MSL, and great wraparound coming out of Anexis, taking it from middle and tunnels, coming straight into B, just holding it down. And the bomb will go down here for the Terrace. There's no way they should be able to lose this right now. We do have one guy there, is Pimp, with the frag in the tunnels. Troubly, though, coming in, looking to do some damage. Oh, wow. Troubly actually doing a great job so far. Has picked up 2 and only lost a fraction of his health right now. Ooh. By Nico.
See you later. 7-6 now. That was an I really like the strange thing that they just did. It was like, it originally looked like an A commit off of a default, and just as they're about to commit, someone called an audible, and bomb was taken over towards B. They dropped off of Cat, they took out mid, and then they took into tunnels. It was a really far out there strat, but it worked out for him.
And they actually had Nilla up as far as right here by the box at short, as you guys can see on the stream. But they still just were able in split seconds just to turn it around and go straight into B, just surprising the counter-terrorists of mousesports. And that's just the reactionary play we were talking about, doing stuff like that. Great to see coming out of... wow.
Whoa, a prox. That was interesting.
He just took out Glaive through the wall, not giving a folk, which is a very weird way to pronounce that word.
And Nuki will now fall back off of Cat. They do not have a dedicated aggressive player on Catwalk here for mousesports any longer, so they're forced to fall into a separate setup. Looks like they're going to be playing 2 long. One will be spotting Cat with the AWP.
Nico now, it's his turn to shoot someone through the doors as he takes down a prox. And once more, focused in middle, probably looking to split that B. But right now, the counter-terrorists are pushing in through a CT spawn, so the wise solution would be to turn around and go A, but not quite sure. Wow, Nico once more. I don't even know how he does it.
Well, he takes the intersecting lines and finds mid-mass of people's bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa,
okay.
In that case, he just relies on his ever-so-trusty Glock. You know, his op is really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
It's not just shots like that. We've been seeing him use this burst fire all the way down long A even. He just feels really comfortable with that Glock, as he should. A lot of people are really getting the hang of it.
And Nico just showing why he is probably one of the best AWPers in Denmark, but also one of the best Glock players now for some reason. And yeah, highly regarded. That is why he was picked up by Anexis. But right now, we do see a straight push coming into that B-bomb side. Delayed picking up Sonics throughout the wall. Now Nuki coming in here with the AWP. Ah, great no-scope. Should go for a second one, but will be naded out. Has to wait for his teammates, who are now just joining him. MSL and the guys are holding this bomb site down. Strictly not letting anyone enter without a permission, which they're never going to get. Nico is the one with the bomb. Get that planted. Stroppy takes out Nilo. 3v4.
All right, 3 versus 4, but they've got it covered well. Mouse overwhelming force on the way to the bomb site, and a quick end of the round as it even surprised Kerrigan of mousesports how quickly that ended. That was a great push in, just all at once. No real super crazy strategy involved there. Just there's 3 of them, 4 of us. Let's try to take the site. To be completely honest, Anexis was the favorite for me in that particular round. They had everything covered well, but you just can't fight against that much counter-terrorists flying in your face.
That is very true.
Great retake, great retake.
And with that being said, hopefully the players will know that we're going to have a break. I'm just going to confirm this in the chat. Yes, MSL says it. So we're going to cut to a short yeah, not live. So we're going to cut to a short commercial break. Don't want to miss any of the action. We will be back after these messages. So, welcome back here to ESP TV as we're almost ready to jump into the second half of the second map between Anexis and mousesports. And this time, we are almost sure, actually, I am pretty sure that Anexis won the half, 8-7. Wouldn't it be funny if I was wrong once again?
How much are you guys drinking over there at ES Planet? I'm just curious.
We don't do anything else. Well, we cast and we drink. That's how life is in Denmark. And then we have free social healthcare and shit, so it doesn't really matter if we get too drunk.
I want to make sure my audio is still good. I heard another beep.
Yep. So,
excellent.
We are still waiting for the players, of course, to come back, as Nico is right now showing his auto-sniping skills in the server. And yeah, so right now, of course, a one-round lead for Anexis coming into the second half. Do you still believe, or do you still have some kind of a belief in mousesports, or do you think Anexis can take it all the way home now?
You know, I obviously, I mean, I like mousesports just because the nostalgia factor. For me personally, not that, you know, Nexus players have been around as long. I'm more familiar with a lot of the players over the years of the mousesports. But once again, Anexis, ridiculously unpredictable. They like to do some very crazy things, like we talked about earlier with this ridiculous, hey, we're going A. Just kidding, lol. We're going to drop off catwalk, push out mid, smoke everything off, and just bum rush your site. You know, that's the same kind of play we saw from One Inferno. I mean, that was obviously a very low-level breakdown of what they do, but that's basically it. It's so hard to call what a Nexus is going to be trying to pull here on the counter-terrorist side. I see some aggressive cat pushes in the near future. I see some lower B pushes fairly consistently, maybe two-man pushes for the trade. There's a lot that they're capable of. However, mousesports very capable of adapting and playing it out with some hard counters. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so we're going to jump straight in game, and I do apologize for the logos. It just switched it around at the last second. Going to have to live with that. I don't want to tab out in the middle of the action. No one wants to see that. So we're just going to jump straight into the first half, and already now we see some wonky play coming out of Anexis taking...
Yeah, Anexis Glaive pushed all the way in lower B here, and MSL was pushed into an aggressive position there on catwalk, and thankfully he fell back because that would have been devastating.
Yeah, right now, mousesports are trying their luck in middle. Well, it looks like the CTs are set up properly at least, to tackle this thing that mousesports are trying to do. They do have one guy lower and one guy short. Let's just switch over to Glaive as he is pushed back now. So, question is, where will the terrace go? Looks like they're going to wrap around into B because they are taking control of that entire tunnel there. Oh, wow, Nookie. Nice little one bullet onto Nile, and now the entire terrace team will be focusing on that B bomb side, as we only have Nico and Pimp remaining for the CT team.
Yep, 2 versus 5, and make that a 1 versus 5. Pimp going to be the last man standing with a P250 in hand.
Let's see.
Going to be able to spot Zonix here in tunnels. I'm not sure if he's aware. Of course he is. Easily able to take him down. Now 1-0 here in the second half. And what does it make it overall there, Riss?
Makes it 8-8.
8-8 overall. We're all tied in the second half of the second map. Now, if Anexis is able to pick up this map, for those of you just now joining us, they will take the series. As once again, you are joining us here for the Fnatic FragOut Tournament.
That is
Some of the top teams in Counter-Strike Global Offensive competing for $1,500 first prize. And of course, getting some incredibly great practice out of this. Some really good rostered, solid teams, and a lot of practice coming into this.
Yeah, and actually, as you said, actually almost all the top teams. We're missing Quantic from USA, which is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 teams in the world, and then ESC Gaming from Poland. And apart from those two guys, and then probably also some other American teams, we have the entire top 10, top 15 in Europe here in teams. So.
And I love seeing this. I mean, just sponsors showing up for some great FPS in Counter-Strike, but hold that thought of Prox able to... This Bison is ridiculous. He's able to goose one inside his side, bringing him down to just a sliver of HP, 11% remaining. And Prox will take him down. And into the site we go, and there's another one for him.
Yep, Nico will be the last man standing. We'll be picking off Sonics, but not doing any more. So, we're going to be looking at a 2-0, probably also a 3-0 as per usual. But, to be honest, never say never, or at least never say that an eco is not going to be won, because the pistols are extremely powerful, and this would not be the first time just today that we've seen a pistol round coming out of one team, taking out the entire other team with weapons. So let's have a look at what the terrorists are bringing to the table. Right now, Sonic.
And you know, we've seen what Anexis can do on these save rounds repeatedly, over and over and over again. I'm interested to see. I mean, let me look at the overlay here real quick. I mean, they're really not doing anything too crazy other than MSL being pretty aggressive here in middle. I'm sorry, not MSL, Nilly.
That is very true. Let's see if we can find him right now. He's just waiting for.
Oh, three-man mid. Oh, there it is.
And
Nilly
he
able to take
as
down
well.
Rock.
Wow, great. Picking up 2, trading 2 for 1. Always good.
Always.
And the bomb is now in the back of Kerrigan. They will run into this B bomb side as soon as Trobley sees that it's clear. But Trobley is going to have some work to do. I'm not going to say trouble again because that is just retarded. And wow, looking quite good so far for Anexis.
Well, see you later. And that's what I was saying. Anexis, it's so hard to call what they're actually going to do there. Zonix got stuck in a really tough spot at the top of mid, and I think that was pretty pivotal. He was by himself. You know, once again, we as casters have the wonderful privilege of seeing everything that's going on. He wasn't sure where the counter-terrorists were. I believe he made the right play based on all of his decisions, but he was singled out there by one of the players of Anexis there at long with the P250 and was taken down. So that's one automatic gun less that Anexis had to deal with. Score now 2-1. Anexis picking up the first round of theirs in this half.
Yep, very close games so far. Looking at a 9-9 scoreline as Nilla picks one up without the knowledge of the auto director. And Nika with the second one takes down Nuki there. Aprox answering back. And yeah, there we go. Fixed my own microphone because that's how I roll. MSL will be picking up 1 in Sonics. And actually a second one. Great play coming out of MSL right now. Just clearing out these opponents. Aprox trying his luck, going on to Glaive. Let's see. He will grab it just in the end. 12 HP remains as Pimp will take that last frag. And that is 2-2. But 3 players of that Anexis lineup surviving in that weapon versus weapon round. So good right now for the Danish counter-terrorist.
I wanted to just say at the end of that last round, that's one of the most awkward moments as a CS player is when you're so deep in your magazine, like just a few bullets left, recoil so high, and you're both tapping at each other. That's hard. That's rough.
So right now, Glaive will be picking up the first one, and a ridiculous spray.
Whoa! Wow. Okay, that was just interesting. Nilly, some of these guys in CS:GO, and it's beyond my comprehension on how they control running sprays so well. But Nilly, regardless of the fact that he only got 2 frags there, was on target for just about everything he was trying to hit. So it went very, very well for him.
So 11-9 right now is the total score, and you can use that smoke at home if you want to cross over to B without being seen or hit. Right now, Nico showing us some nice little details as he will be jumping into that B-bomb side without an AWP. So AWP is set up right now for the counter-terrorist of Anexis. The question is, will it work out for them? Deedles 2 is a map where you can take big advantage of having 1 or maybe 2 good AWP players with that weapon. But right now, looking like Anexis want to take advantage, even though they're sitting on 8k, 7k, 6k after buy-up.
Yep, and here we are, still a 5 versus 5. Not a lot of damage being done for either team. Glaive back of CT spawn. Anexis not doing anything too crazy this round, which not too surprising. I mean, they're doing well. They're 3-2 right now. No reason to do anything crazy. They're making good decisions. That's part of my decision process and who might do well in this. Because if Anexis chooses to do these crazy aggressive plays on CT's side with no reason, that could fall in the hands of mousesports. But they're showing to play very conservative.
Wow. MSL is so patient, but not paying off in the end. Not really having the correct aim to win that situation. And right now, 5v4 that is, as Glaive picks up 1. Probably tries to spray through the smoke. Will not do any damage. Oh, Nilly with a nice little shot. Taking out Trobley and now looking to do more damage towards the guys at long. Boost coming on here onto the bomb site. He will get, no, he won't get the frag, but he will deny the plant. And that allows Nico to come in with that flashbang and probably take out the guy at the bomb side. Fire going down at 2 lines right now. Glaive battling with Kerrigan along and Sonic's battling with Nico on this bomb side. Bomb is planted though for the terrorists. Oh, great shot by Sonic, and now it's all on Glaive. In big trouble now. Yeah,
1 versus 2, 8 HP remaining. He's going to have to isolate the guy at long, but he's Kerrigan. Just too quick, able to take him down there. I mean, that was rough because that was a situation as a Nexus as you want to be in. You have both terrorists focused on 2 separate locations. Then it just comes down to who's got the better shot and angle, who's going to play it out better, instead of the terrorist being able to hold a choke or be able to pull anything crazy, jumping off the plat. But once again, mousesports where it was able to play it out.
Yep. And now we do see the double up buy up. And as we actually see a lot, we do see Varigames do this as well. Of course, the main AWP Nico, as Kenny S in Varigames, buys the AWP, but also the in-game leader, which right now is Glaive and not Existence, also tries that AWP out. And let's see, where is Glaive? He's in middle, while Nico is holding that B bomb side. And now drawing over to the A bomb side. So very interesting to see them go from an AWP-less setup to double AWP right now here in Dust 2.
And just to update people on the score here, it is now 11-10 in favor of Anexis in the second half, second map here.
We do see some aggression coming onto short, but stifles right now. As Kerrigan still waiting here with the bomb. Pimp and Glaive ready to do damage. And wow, MSL is still holding out on that long side, on that, on the long position. So I don't really see any way apart from hitting some magnificent shots and doing some great smoke work right now. mousesports will be able to come in here and Glaive will be pushed all the way back. Immense smoke work coming out of the Terrace team right now. mousesports will get that bomb down. 4v4, but smokes on that bomb site. MSL trying his luck at long, but Aprox removing people at short. And Pimp is not happy with the ping as he is taken out. MSL trying his luck, but not lucky enough. And that is 4-3.
4-3 indeed. That will tie things up here at 11. And I can't say it enough. This is game time for mousesports. If Anexis is able to pick up this map, they will win the series and move on. Now, remind me, who are they playing if they do win this?
They are playing Varigames if they win this.
Okay, so Varigames is currently awaiting the winner of this matchup in the ladder.
Yep. So are NIP, of course, waiting for the other game between Virtus Pro and... who's the other team? Virtus Pro, it's not Fnatic. It's the... Lemon Dogs, of course. Virtus Pro versus
MSL in a great position with that Mag 7, but gets pushed back with the flash. Proc's taking a lot of damage. 17 HP remaining. I'm telling you, that Mag 7 is such a monster in locations such as Catwalk.
Yeah, that is very true. But Glaive probably should have been able to jump in there and take him out with his pistol, but didn't really succeed in that. As we now move into a 5v4, still Aprox low on HP. Oh, the CTs are going to try and rush out here. Low HP in that middle area, as we do see the entire, or two of the Terrace team rushing up at long. 3 now joining in the fight. Sonic's taking on 1 out, and Glaive not having any luck with the Max 7 there on that distance.
You know, the Mag 7's a little bit crazy, but not always at that distance. 2 on 4 right now. Proc's down to just 8 HP. Obviously, just going to try to get some guns down here where they can. Pimp flanking it long, and Nico does have an AK in hand, so he's going to try to save this out. He's going to have a hard time at that, however, as he is now going to be the hunted 4 versus 1.
Aprox coming in from behind. 9
now, Nico,
8 HP.
Nico knows. Nico knows. He just doesn't know exactly where at this point.
Oh, he has to hide now. Oh.
He sees the head.
Oh, now he's in trouble. Now he's in
Karen going to be flashing.
Oh, okay. Well, if you are going to lose your AK, trading 2 for that AK and your death is the best case scenario, really. Sure,
yeah. I mean, other than getting away with that, it's not a problem at all.
So, right now we're looking at a 5-3 scoreline here in the second half. Remember that Anexis won the first half, 8-7. So we do have a couple of rounds remaining here. Actually, to be quite technical with it, we are missing 7 rounds in this game. And the question is, who will come out on top? Will it be mousesports and bring us to a 3rd map? Or will it be Anexis Esports and close it out 2-0 and going into the semi-final versus Varigames here in the Fnatic FragOut League? That's the question we're trying to answer right now.
And Aprox working his way up Catwalk here. So looks like this may be a diversion. Yeah, they're still hanging out. He's just trying to get a feel for what the play is like right now inside of the A-bomb site. He wants to know if they're playing on ramp or in Goose, if they're playing aggressive. He's trying to pull a peek, trying to get some sort of information here. But Anexis is playing it fairly passive. Aprox will now spot the Goose play there. And that looks like that set off a red flag for that mid-push into the B-bomb site. Nico taking down Kerrigan.
Yeah, he will get down
Onyx with the trade.
But, wow.
Oh, my God, and a quick flank. Oh, Glaive will take down Nuki and have a hand in the first death there. 2 versus 2 now.
Oh, MSL will be flanked here, but Troubly and Aprox are fairly low on HP. Pimp is still with 100. But MSL having some trouble taking out the procs. He has to take down Troubly here on the bomb side. Bomb will be picked off. Picked up, that is, and planted if he stands back. Let's see here what the terrorist wants to do. They are still just waiting. Aprox will be picking up the bomb now. Troubly so low on HP. Pimp still with 100, does have that smoke in hand.
I mean, in this case, it's hard to make the decision whether you want to split back site and tunnels or you're going to play shoulder to shoulder because of the HP difference between these two teams. 100 HP left for Pimp, so we can take a few shots. But they're going to opt to go for the crossfire here as Pimp now working his way into the site. He knows one is in tunnels, but Aprox is the unknown factor there. Will take down Pimp right next to the door. 6-3 here coming into the second half. The score, I believe, is now, I'm terrible at math, 13-11.
13-11. Points confirmed. Oh, okay. So actually, I fucked up in the semi-finals. So the winner of this one is actually going to play NIP, and the winner of the other semi-final, winner of the other relegation match will play Vera Games. So
I'm just along for the ride, man. You're telling me.
But yeah, that's quite a change. To be honest, the winner of this one actually had a chance against Vera Games, but against NIP they have to pull out some really special stuff. And I like the play coming out of both these teams right now, but they have to bring something more to the table if they're going to beat NIP than what they're bringing right now.
Sure. I mean, it's a completely different world. They definitely have different play style here, but into the action, it's a 2 versus 4. As Zonic's going to pick up location here in pit, going to pick up position, rather. I'm losing my mind, apparently.
Yeah, and actually, I love the position Glaive had, but he was not able to turn that into a kill. And Nico, though, will turn his position into a kill onto Sonics, leaving just Carrigan that is standing. Carrigan, of course, known for his ult play, among other things. We'll be picking up Nico here, winning that little battle. But he is still 1v3. Has gotten 1 kill, but still in a very tough situation.
Yeah, he did pick up the AK here. Obviously, the best decision for a 1 versus 3. You don't want to get stuck with that op, 1 bullet at a time. As I continue to say, and people are probably tired of me hearing, not the optimal weapon. Bomb is in hand and only 12 seconds to work with. Going to try to get away with that op and just save it for next round. Is, you know, both teams feeling, I guess, either incredibly uncomfortable or comfortable. I mean, it's close, but obviously you don't want to give up any more rounds than you have to here. Kerrigan's going to make the right decision to save this op and most likely keep it for next round.
Yeah, so 13-12 right now, still on the favor of mousesports on that T side of DD2. They do have that orb, and yeah, it will be a buy round. And we'll be coming 1 Galil, maybe 2 Galils, and then AKs and orbs. Of course, the CT side right now also spending all their money. So the loser of this one is probably going to go into an eco.
Take a look at the overlay here real quick. And it looks like they're going to set up with a more default setup. Once again, mousesports going in with Troubly over here in middle of Prox, joining him as well. Zonix towards mid and Kerrigan Nuki as well. Bomb is in hands of Nuki currently. Very slow round for them. Just trying to see if there's anything to really be too concerned about in middle. Working their way up catwalk currently.
Yep. They are still playing this one out very slowly. Kind of the opposite of what Anexis did, but this one seems to be working out for them. They are in the lead in the second half. We do have Nila here coming in from behind though, and he might get swarmed as Troubly takes him out. The question is, do they want to hit that short area and go onto A, or do they want to hit that into middle and maybe split B? Troubly will be making some noise, or yeah, just walking around in upper tunnels while his teammates will be awaiting orders yet short, probably hitting anytime soon.
Yep, and this is the commit. Nuki on the way into the bomb site with a bomb.
I like this. Just waiting out for a second just to take out the guy at Goose. But, oh, he might get fired here upon... As Carrigan tries to pick up the frag. Glaive's doing good work, but Carrigan... Oh, actually will be taken down now as a 1v2. Nico versus Sonics and Nuki. Nuki will get that bomb down. Nico with that AWP has actually a lot of grenades. So he might have a chance of doing something here at least.
Yeah, Nico really has no location on either player right now, so he's going to have to play this slow, and it's obviously not in his favor. Already being at a numbers disadvantage, he's going to fall back and try to save this up and for the next round. But so they really, really played it well. mousesports, that is. I'm sorry, Anexis. They were able to hold bomb back, and Cat Nuki was offing Goose from Catwalk. The other two members were able to work their way into the bomb site. The bomb was delayed for quite some time, but mousesports was able to make something happen with it, pushing into the bomb site and taking down both defenders of the bomb carrier before the bomb even made it to site. So,
yep,
a lot of momentum shifting happening there in that round.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, that would have been a great round to analyze and just look at, like, if we had 15 or 10 minutes just to look at what happened that round, because there was so much shit going on. And yeah, a lot of reactionary play, but now we are moving into the next round. Score right now is 14-12 in favor of mousesports. And yeah, they are, as you might be able to figure out, 2 rounds away from taking the second map and getting us into the third one.
That is a fact. Zonix onto MSL here. Nico endangering himself here early on in the round, but able to get away. He was pushed fairly aggressive into middle, trying to peek dark spot, and was caught off guard by one of the mousesports players there in mid. It's now a 4-on-4.
Yeah, they're gonna split B right now.
And they love these B splits. And Nexus now, I'm sorry, mousesports now working their way into the B bomb site.
Oh!
Wow, I didn't think Neely was going to be able to pick that up. But he is able to pick up 1, and that is pretty big because instead of a 4 versus 2, it's a 2-on-3 currently. 10 HP remaining here for Kerrigan. Bomb will be planted default. I mean, there's no more room for these let's save out guys. I mean, they've got to make a play. Oh, Nico taking down a Prox, great flick shot straight down, ripping the head off of Prox, and it's now a 2 versus 1 Trebly. Last man standing, going to get a little bit aggressive here in window. Will take down Nico, working his way outside, and will also take down Pimp. Big round there for mousesports.
Big round by Trebly, really. The way that Anexis came into the retake was very confident. I actually thought they were going to take it, because just taking the first one there in middle, and then Nico coming in with the second one with the orb, just like without any trouble, and then pun not intended, Trebly came in and just clutched it right there. That was great play coming out of him, but great try from Anexis, but not good enough here.
All right, that aggressive long A push, just intended to pick up anyone that may be pushing into long A. That is of mousesports, wanting to pick up one of the guys of Anexis. MSL will fall 4-on-5. And we're still even holding a mid-pick position here. Still have an op in play all the way up top of dark spot in T-spawn.
And if I'm not mistaken, then this is where, well, basically mousesports is on that point. They are right now at 15 rounds.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for someone to correct me. If not, then I'm going to go with
it. Nope,
it.
that's the case, man. That looks like that's exactly what's happening.
Finally.
Currently, mousesports looking for any bit of information. I've been saying this a lot, but there's a lot of these fallback type plays we've been seeing. They already have the numbers advantage. They don't want to lose it. So they're going to be playing a lot of shoulder to shoulder, be ready to trade this frag on the way to the bomb site. There's no room for error here. They can't be risking much as far as personnel, and that's exactly what they wanted. Not a single trade will come in.
There comes Nil, though, with a frag onto Kerrigan. And now, moving into this bomb site, the terrace might be exposed, but Sonix comes in from behind. And that's great play from the German. Anexis is looking like they're in a really tough spot right now, as it's actually just Nil in a really tough spot. Oh, he will hit Sonix. But still, a 1v3 to clutch for Nil.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here for Nilly. I mean, this is map point. There's no saving here. There's no questions that need to be asked. He just needs to find a way through 3 terrorists, 3 incredibly good terrorists of mousesports. Needs to find a way in, but they're not going to give him the opportunity to isolate anybody here, and that's exactly what he needs. Nuki able to take him down.
So, that is going to be the map here for mousesports, and we will be moving into the third map between these two teams. Of course, we will need that third map to determine who goes in to the semi-final against Ninjas in Pajamas. It's going to be sometime next week, but right now we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be back when the players are ready to play the third map here. So, welcome back to ESP TV for the third and final map in the relegation match between Anexis and mousesports. It's going to be played out on DE Train. So, a very interesting map coming in here. Of course, the two teams picked each their map, and they won each other's maps, which is kind of weird. But still win this third one, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see what these two can bring to the table. Of course, both of them want to go straight into this playoffs here. Not really guaranteeing a cash prize, but you have a chance of making it into that top 3. Well, you will win some money, but apart from that, it's just great practice, and of course, there's a lot of people watching, so also some reputation at stake here.
For sure. I mean, that's one of the big things here is confidence. I mean, both obviously very solid teams, very conflicting play styles, and a lot of fun to watch so far. Obviously, want to thank ES Planet for having me along for this match, because so far it's been a lot of fun. Nothing better than going to a third map and a best of 3. I mean, that means we have some great competition happening here in Counter-Strike, a game that we all know and love. So for those of you who may just now be joining us, we've seen a little bit of a story developing. There have been some very close games so far, and maybe not so much of score here in the second map, but more so in the rounds. We've seen some interesting plays, some great clutches, and some really good team play happening from both sides. And completely different sides of the spectrum. We've seen the really tight-knit trade-style team play. And then we've seen a lot of the just balls out, take the bomb site play from Anexis. So once again, it's always fun. And Train's one of those maps where it's not as volatile as D2, but it's a lot more systematic. It's a lot more methodical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, also the fact that if one area is broken, like if you come rush inside and you just break the guy lower, you can just take the positions, and yeah, the CTs are going to have a hard time if they don't get the nades and flashes correctly. So there's a lot of depending on how you're going to throw your grenades on this map, especially outside. There's 2 smokes you can place, one right here I'm drawing on the overlay right now, and one here. And if you place a smoke on either of those positions, you can actually run in and plant the bomb, no questions asked, almost every time. And that's a new thing coming into terrace rounds here in Train, because back in the day, it was very hard to get into a position where you could get that bomb down.
Yeah, you know, that's funny is, I mean, once again, for those of you out there who don't know, I work on a project called PlanetSide 2. I'm a game designer, longtime Counter-Strike player and caster. But, you know, at the office, some of the guys aren't into Counter-Strike, and they had watched, they were watching I can't remember what tournament it was, and it was on DE Train, was the map they were watching, and they're like, they're just doing the same strat every round. It's like, man, you really, really don't understand the complexity that goes in, because if that smoke gets missed or they push too soon, the timings are getting pretty tight here in CSGO for DE Train. That's why I called it a methodical map. It's always been a team play map, but this is more so of just mechanics. I mean, the teams really need to be on point, on the terrorist side especially, to pull it together.
So right now, of course, the knife round going on to find out what side the teams are going to start in. Of course, always the CT side is the most favored one here in Train. So always was and still is. And mousesports look like they're going to get it here, and probably, I'm going to say, start CT.
And for those, so this question's come up 1.5 million times, and I'm gonna pet my ego for a second. My name is Jimmy Wisenhunt. Hello. Everyone keeps asking, who is the English? Yeah. Who's the American?
I'm sorry.
Who's the dumb American?
I didn't
with the dumb American voice?
Yeah, you're not that dumb though. You're just American.
Oh, not that dumb. I understand.
You. We like you.
That's like telling that girl you just met, you're not that fat. You're not that fat. You know, like I find you semi-attractive. You're at least a 5 out of 10. I mean,
oh, Jimmy, you're always a 10 out of 10.
Come on. I love you guys.
But yeah, of course, Jimmy Wisenhunt. And therefore, we can go straight into the game. The players are ready, and MSL is actually ready now, just to point this out. He has been unready many times in this game so far, and mousesports already joking with it right now in the chat. But we are going to jump straight into the pistol round. Of course, Anexis starting out on that terrace side here on DE Train. What will they do here to break a win in this third one?
All right, take a look at the overlay here. They're definitely working pretty default setup here. Bomb's going to be all the way back in White Halls right now, kind of feeling out the inside bomb side right now, or B, for those of you who use the letters. 2 over towards Ivy currently. Ivy in mid, that is. Not a lot of action just yet.
No, we did see the usual start round shooting going on. There's a guy here, and there's a guy below the train here. And actually, Tropley was taking that to 20 HP. But that is usually how that duel goes. Somehow the Terrors can spam there without quite seeing the CT, but still able to hit him. Just because that position is the only position where you can spot feed. So you can take some shots there and do some early damage without really being taking any risks. And right now it looks like they will push inside. They are committing. They have almost the entire lineup. Actually, the entire lineup coming in, but Nuki stands in their way, picking up the double frag early on here for mousesports. Now jumping into the bomb side. Bomb will go down here, but is it too late right now? 3 players remain, but they're all low on HP. The CTs just needs to get a couple of grenades in there, but it will not happen. They don't have any. There's just flashes for the CTs, and it looks like Anexis will hold here for at least a couple of seconds. As wow, Pim comes in with 1 frag, currently a 3v3. Nuki trying his luck. He will pick up that third one. Prox coming in with 1, and now it's just Pimp remaining. Oh, wow. Great round by Prox and Nuki there. But Prox will be coming in with his second frag and the defuse. Yeah.
And that will be 1-0.
Yep.
First round of the third map. So once again, folks, whoever picks this one up will, of course, take this series. And that was a 2K coming in there from Prox and a 3K from Nuki.
Not bad at all.
And Nuki there joking in chat. They said, nice shot. He said, full blind.
Yeah, that was actually true. We saw that entire thing. Of course, we aren't go to these, so the flash effect is very reduced for us, while the player's actually fully flashed. But he was actually fully flashed the entire time, just spammed his gun and got 2 headshots out of him. Not even sure where they came from, but they came in, and that's really important to stop an in push like that.
Oh my gosh. So once again, said it earlier, this is probably going to be a wonderful or terrible day to be Troubly. There's the counter coming in, catching a lot of them with that flashbang.
Oh, wow.
Only picking up 2, however.
Oh, 1 melee with
this burst fire long range is insane.
I don't know,
from Anexis.
Man. That used to be the most difficult shot to land of all the guns, burst fire long range. And now it just seems like you can just remove people with it, or at least if you're nearly on Nico.
You just erase them off the planet with burst fire halfway across the trade. And it's kind of cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, Nico's really seems to have the hang of it. I mean, I saw that in the first round, there in the second round, just about everybody rocking that burst fire halfway across the bomb site.
So we will be buying up now, or both teams will be. Full set of AKs coming out for the Terrace team. CT team will have 1 up, but Farmhouse in there and a P90 in there as well. So if Anexis want to get an early couple of rounds here, just an early round here on the Terrace side, this is the round where they can strike and take advantage. See here, oh, Glaive already out, and he will be taking out a Prox. And here you see the effect of the smokes. These are a bit further into the bomb side, which is not what you usually see, but they also smoked off the Pog Dog. Sonics is getting into a good position, but I think it's kind of too late already. The Terrorists have map control over the entire outer side, and Troubly is the last man standing.
Yeah, Troubly, once again, has a lot of options here. He's surrounded completely by terrorists, able to take down MSL. They do now have an exact beat on his location and will be taken down by Pimp very quickly, scoring out 2-1.
So yeah, that was actually a great example of how great flashes and smokes can work if you want to go outside. It wasn't the smokes I talked about earlier. They actually placed them down here, here, and here. And they just took control on the entire bomb site very quickly and just got the map control outside and could hold all the angles. And from there on, it's just shoot to kill, and Anexis are pretty good at doing that.
All right, Anexis, MSL pushing out mid while the rest of the team headed directly down lower. Nico does have the bomb. And this is going to be a very quick rotate from Mouse. Whoa!
He's blind, but he's just in firing range, and he will be picked off in the end. But great round by Troubly, and a Prox also coming in, proving once more that these pistols are so incredibly strong in Go. Just turn the entire thing around.
It's dangerous, man. You've got to be careful.
Yeah.
You really do. It requires so much more of a passive play on these anti-ecos. And MSL, going to be the last man standing, should be able to get the bomb down without too much of an issue here. Will probably be very quickly taken down here, but not counting him out just yet, as Zonix down to just 10 HP.
This is actually a clutchable round.
It very much is, but Nuki...
It was a clutchable round until Nuki came out of Pop Dog.
The caster's curse, anytime you say anything of the sort, the exact opposite happens.
Yep, that's how we work.
Yep, 3-1 will be the score.
We're actually not casters. We're just guys who just jinx players and destroy their hopes and dreams.
We should just have people pay us. Be like, all right, talk like talk up Nip the whole time, and Nip will just lose every final for the rest of the year.
Actually, when I was casting the game between Varigames and Nip the other day, I was like, Varigames were absolutely winning in the first half, and then I was like, there's no way they can lose it now, and then Nip just came back 14-0, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, France. I just cursed your team.
All right. Heading down white holes currently with the bomb is MSL and Glaive. Nico hanging out by ladder and Pimp waiting for the flank. Now Nilly all the way across the map right now over here at Ivy. So this is a really, really spread out kind of default setup they're working, but it definitely looks like they're going for that A commit or B commit rather.
Yeah, let's see here. Glaive will be popping in from up. Oh, great little headshot. Taking out Troubly. Nuki is without AWP, but the bomb will go down. And I don't think there's much the CTs can do about it. They need to get in there with the flashbangs. But right now, the Terrorists are holding this one down perfectly.
Yeah, and Pimp had great usage of the smoke to push up on that sidewalk. It's exactly what you want to do as the Terrorists push up as far as you can. 2 quick frags from Anexis, and there's a third. It's now all up to Nuki to try to salvage this round up in hand. And it looks like he's going to be forced to fall back and try to save this weapon.
Yeah. He's on $250, so he needs a weapon in the next round because the rest of his team have enough money to buy, or at least Carrigan can drop one for his teammate Troubly, but they don't have the economy to drop an orb, so Nukin needs to survive here, and he will. Oh, yeah, he will.
Oh man, that was a close one.
But yeah, 3-2 right now for mousesports here, and usually, the general rule of playing terrorist on train is if you can get half as many rounds as the CT team, you're going to be alright. And right now, Anexis are looking quite good at that.
You know, it's definitely a fact. I mean, 10-5 is very acceptable as the terrorist team. Obviously, you want as many rounds as you can get, but nothing to be upset about if you can end up with half as many rounds on the terrorist side. A Prox quick frag onto Glaive. Nilly in the perfect position to trade that frag, and the running spray onto Troubly. Suddenly, it's a 2 versus 4, and things are looking pretty strong here for Team Anexis.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Oh, he was so close to having just nail Nuki through the smoke, but Nuki will be coming back here against MSL. Great coming in. Sonics could actually take out the Nico here. Oh, that's great positional play, and game sense coming in. And now 2 versus 2 all of a sudden. Just lost 2 players without doing anything. Luckily, Anexis still has Pimp.
And it's a 1 versus 2. Nuki last man standing, taken down right by mid-train there. And we're all tied up here 3-3. So Anexis showing to be pretty strong in the, coming into the actual buy rounds as they're starting to feel each other out here. We'll start to see, at least what I think, some more original play, some more maybe a little crazier, wonky strats coming from Anexis as they start to get comfortable with how Anexis is defending. Yeah. Especially the outer bomb site, because that's really what dictates the flow of the map for the terrorists, is if they're playing that more Z and CT spawn heavy Ivy setup, I mean Ivy as in playing that ramp all the way over at CT spawn, you've got to be careful of Inner. And if they keep spreading out like this, it's going to give Anexis the opportunity to exploit Inner much, much more.
And this is, of course, the 7th round coming in, and it's a buy round for Anexis and just an eco for mousesports. But I don't think just an eco is actually a sentence that you can use anymore, because just in this best of 3 we've seen so far, so many eco rounds have been actually won against weapons because the pistols are buffed. And let's see what's going to happen in this round. Oh wow, okay. So Nico picks up the Glock instead of using his AK or his orb or whatever he had, and they just plow straight through mousesports there.
Yeah, the way Nico's been playing with the Glock, not going to fault him for that decision at all. He was able to metric shit ton of damage back trains towards CT spawn ramp with the burst Glock. Really just completely, kind of systematically taking apart mousesports there. They played it fairly slow, but committed when they needed to, and it worked out great for him. Yeah. Score is now 4-3 in the first half.
So let's see here. Troubly is actually in a good position, and he trades fairly well. MSL is in 22 HP, but he didn't have him in sight when, oh wow, okay, Nuki taken out of the game by Nico. Once more the AWP shining. Prox will be coming in from behind as we move away from him, as Sonics will be taking out Pimp. And MSL will be here on the bomb side to guard this incoming CT rush. The question, can he just hold it off long enough? Hold it off long enough. Yeah, that's actually something you can say. Oh wow, Nico once more. Looking to boss this round. Aprox is the last man standing. 1v2. Can he clutch it though?
And he's going to be coming in right now. 1 versus 2. 14 HP remaining. There's no way he's going to get to that bomb in time.
Yeah, it's going to explode. And yeah, 5-3 so far for Anexis.
So Trebly originally played that really close position at lower, which you pointed out there at the beginning of the round. He traded fairly effectively. He got the 1-for-1. But they're playing, I mean, at least for that round, that 1 inner, 4 outside, 1 in Z, kind of supporting both. And it's hard to trade 1-for-1 and expect to win that round. They came pretty close, but in the end, it's a huge disadvantage to be putting yourself in a position where you're just going to get picked, possibly. Even if you're great at that position, you still want to try to fall back. mousesports kind of surprising me there with that play, as they are typically the more tight-knit, shoulder-to-shoulder type team.
So Nico will be boosted onto that little ledge. They're trying to take out the enemy player, but in the end, not amounting to anything. So,
and it looks like 3 here at Ivy.
Oh, wow.
Kerrigan.
Okay. I was like, nothing's happening, and then Kerrigan just comes out shooting and gets 2 people, and Trobley will actually also get 1. So all of a sudden, this eco round has turned into a 4v2 in favor of the team that was ecoing, which is mousesports.
Yeah, and
I don't even know. Nico, though.
I mean, this is still a winnable round here for Anexis.
It can be done.
I mean, they're split up fairly well. They don't have the opportunity to peek everything together, and a lot of damage being done by that nade. Pimp able to pick up Kerrigan, and possibly isolating a Prox as he pushes up here, but I don't think he's actually aware there's another CT to his right. Once again, as Cassius, we have the opportunity to see everything. He will take down a Prox, 1 versus 2. Last man standing is Trebly, AK-47, taking down 1, and backing away, kind of reassessing the situation. Flashbang's coming in from Nico.
Yep.
Yeah, bomb will go down. Trebly is alerted of what's going on and pushing directly in. I'm not sure if Nico is aware. There it is. 6-3 now is the score in favor of Anexis.
Once more, Nico really showing his game sense and his positional play. Just going the other way around where Trobley actually was thinking he would go. So he was able to come into the position and basically clutched out 1v1 without even having any trouble. Just shooting that terrorist guy in the back, and that's how easy it goes. And 6-3 now for the terrorist team. Looking on.
That's huge. That's huge. I mean, 3-round advantage this early on is just great, especially if they can keep carrying on. But once again, mousesports very capable of adapting to the playstyle of Anexis and trying to pick them apart. But Anexis being very dynamic in their play. MSL onto a Prox, and Nico onto Zonix.
Wow. Great plays coming out of Anexis right now. Nuki all alone. 1v5, and he will not even get a single kill. So, great lead so far for Anexis. 73 on that T side. That just, well, that speaks for itself, really. 73, wow, that's amazing.
And take a look at the scoreboard here. 14-6 is Pimp currently. Definitely standing out here for Anexis. Right below him is Nico, 10-4. Glaive not having the best game ever right now, but definitely a valuable player. Really had a great showing so far in these matchups.
I have to say, Nico is probably, he has been playing so well with the AWP today, and I'm so sad I didn't get to set my HLTV.org dream team, because Nico's fairly cheap, and he's been getting so many frags with the AWP today, and he's been winning so many duels in this game. And yeah, once more, that guy, I think I've been praising him a lot during this cast, but he actually deserves it, because there's not many AWPers in this game, apart from maybe Kenny S. And then, I can't really remember one of the Americans from Quantic Gaming, former Fortnite, who really can change a game by just AWPing well. Nikos has been doing that. He did it on Inferno. He tried to do it on DD2, but really got stifled. But right now, looking to lead again here on DE Train.
All right, 4-3. Numbers advantage will go to Anexis, but pistols in hand for mousesports. I believe all of them. Yep, all of them do have the P250.
So Pimp will be making a lot of noise inside, while the rest of his team will go outside. Nearly is with the bomb, but he's only on 7 HP. So 1 pistol shot and he's out. And we'll plan in that left smoke, as I talked about earlier, and Prox will be the last man standing. Picks up 1, goes for the bomb planter, but will not be taking him out. And that is 8-3 for Anexis.
That's, once again, can't say it enough, is absolutely huge 5-round advantage on the terrorist side. You know mousesports has really got to be feeling it right now. Mousesports, once again, the team that adapts, but I want to reiterate, Anexis is being fairly dynamic in their play. They're switching it up a lot. Seems to be a lot of audibles being called. They're not always hitting their originally intended site, not being too structured, but, you know, playing well.
Yeah, I think this is the way to be a very structured mousesports team, by doing what they don't expect. And Anexis are playing it out really well right now, I have to say. Just being in the lead 8-3 as Terrorist on Trade, that just says so much about their T play compared to the CTs of mousesports.
All right, still very early on the round. Nico, will take down Trouble. I was wondering if he's going to spot that, and this will cue the commit into the inside bomb site. Glaive rushing in, flashbangs coming in, and there's the right play, pushing all the way to the back of inside.
Yeah, Nilla just picked up a prox who was going to backstab, but wow, okay, they're just being taken apart right now. Karrigan and Nuki, as Nuki's being taken out. Karrigan now, the last man standing for mousesports, have picked up 2 frags, but he seems content with saving this AK and just running away, letting another round fall into the hands of Anexis. To be honest, there's not much he can do, really. 3 terrorists on that inner bomb site, with actually flashes and smokes and nades still remaining. And Karrigan at 73 health points. That's probably not going to go in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if Karrigan could pick up a couple frags here. I think he heard the guy over here in White Halls. Yeah, he's going to be able to get away with that without too much of a problem at all.
So, we are moving into the closing statements of the second half. Right now, Anexis are in the lead, 9-3, and we have 3 rounds remaining. The question is, will they go to the Danes, or will mousesports amount to this comeback right now? They really need to get a couple of rounds on the board, because it's going to be incredibly hard being behind as T here in Train. Right now, Anexis sitting on 9. If they can grab just 1 more round, they just need 6 rounds of CT on Train. And trust me, I've seen a lot of games where the CT team have gone 6 rounds or more.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it can go either way. The way that this map is balanced, it comes down to game style. I mean, just actual play style of each team. More aggressive teams typically get picked apart unless they're just super methodical. So it'll be interesting to see Anexis on the CT side, being the type of team that they are. But it's a 4 versus 5 right now. A minute left in the round and not a lot of action as of yet. Karrigan, by the way, pushed all the way into ladder room, directly below MSL. They're breathing right next to each other. It's actually Karrigan opting to fall back at this point. I think, definitely going to try to commit towards outside. Flash is coming in from Ivy. And Karrigan turns around just in time. MSL coming up behind him.
Oh, that's great. He does pick up MSL and has a chance of picking up the guy sitting in that T connector. Yeah, he's going to be in time. Great round for Karrigan so far. Has picked up the double and currently just 1 man behind. It's Trouble and Karrigan against Nile, Glaive, and Nico. And Orb in the hands of Nico now will remove Karrigan from the server completely. Trouble trying his luck here and actually has picked up Glaive. So not the worst of scenarios, but still 1v2. But 10 seconds remaining, the bomb is just now picked up by Nico. And okay, so there goes Glaive as Trouble tries to jump out through that smoke and makes it 10-3 in the favor of Anexis. So,
all right, taking a look at the scoreboard real quick once again, just kind of update everybody what's going on. Nuki on top of score anyway, but he's only 9-11. Karrigan 10-11. Mouse not really getting a lot of frags here. I mean, it's being shown in the score, but these aren't very close rounds, as we've seen in the other 2 matches on D2 and Inferno.
Yeah, I think really the way that Anexis are playing this T side in general just gives them such a big advantage here on the Train. They're playing it very reactionary, and on Train you can really draw a lot of rotates, and you can really draw the CTs out of their natural habitat, if you can say that. And Anexis are doing this fairly well. They are in control of how mousesports are doing, and they are using that information and that control to bend the game into the way they want to play it. And right now, you can see at the scoreboard, it's 10-3. They have been very successful so far with bending that game. And Nilla now will be pushing out here, probably picking up 1. Oh! Actually, great position by Prox, but he will be taken down. Karrigan once more one of the more dangerous people in mousesports right now, doing getting at least 1 frag per round these last 4 rounds. But still, 3v3. Bomb is in the hands of Glaive. And him and... Glaive will be getting that down. And Nico with that orb. Troubly, Sonics, and Nuki have work to do.
That they do. 2 versus 3 right now. Nico will have the opportunity to take down 1, and there it is. Zonix will fall 1 versus 2. AWP in hand.
Oh, this is very, very close. See here,
it's going to be rough. He's got the angle, taking down Nuki, and will take down Troubly. What a huge round for Nico.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Troubly must have just been... He must be hitting himself because he could have dived straight onto that defuse and gotten it. But Nico, wow. Wow. That's the word. And that's the only word I can bring out right now. That was an incredible clutch. You don't expect a guy with an orb to clutch a 1v3 versus 3 guys with automatic weapons. That's just not going to happen. The bomb was planted, though, but still. Great play.
That was, I mean, he cleared his corner so well. I mean, as far as individual play goes, you can't fault just about anything he did there. He was not aware of anyone being on his left side. He cleared right and back left at the perfect time, but into the action, it's a 4-on-4 right now.
Harrigan once more has picked up the double, and looks like this round could be going to mousesports. Nilla will be answering back. Nilla is the one with the most HP. He is going to be the danger man here, and he's taken out. So the last round of the half will go to mousesports, so they're going to find themselves at 4. So 11-4 is the halftime score, and well, mousesports could be gaining some momentum now. They won this round, and if they can win the pistol, they can start to build a comeback. But Anexis, yeah, they're looking quite strong so far. Just the scoreboard, 11-4, and yeah, great kills coming out of both teams. But right now, we're going to cut to a short commercial break, and then we will be back with the last half of the last map in this relegation match between mousesports and Anexis. We'll see you then. So welcome back here to ESP TV, of course, coming in with the last half, or the second half, of the third map between mousesports and Anexis Esports. Anexis Esports won the first half on DE Train, on the Terry side, 11-4. Now they are hoping to close it out, but the question is, can mousesports pull out the comeback? mousesports are very, very seasoned side, some very incredibly talented players on that side. And I'm really looking forward to the second half, because at the end of this half, there's going to be a big consequence. One of these teams are going home. The other team is going straight to the semifinals.
Yeah, and so far we've seen some really, really solid play all the way through this best of 3, and both teams really seem to be on the same level as far as individual and team play, just completely different styles. But coming into Train, we've seen a completely different story. And Nexus really strong, man. Like,
yeah,
it's usually come down to individual play. For a Nexus, anyway, they're able to consistently isolate members of mousesports to take them down. Like we saw that 2v1 earlier. Just great play.
So, still waiting for the last players to join up here on this, or just be ready here on the server. Everyone is here, but the entire mousesports team is just waiting in spawn. Looks like Anexis are ready, so we're just waiting for mousesports. But of course, in the meanwhile, you can always go follow us on Twitter. My name on Twitter is @FollowRisk. And Jimmy, where can people follow you?
It's at JIMMYWHIS. JIMMYWHIS.
Awesome. And also do give a shout out to the lovely guys over at Fnatic. They're just at Fnatic. And yeah, go follow them as we jump into the second half of this Train map. And here we go. Anexis now finding themselves 11-4 up on the CT side of Train. mousesports are forced to pull a great comeback to make it to the semi-finals. If not, then Anexis are going to cruise straight into it. I do hope, though, for mousesports to pull out something, because
mousesports wasting no time. Yeah. They already have 5 members towards the inner bomb side. I take that back. 4 procs over here near mid still.
Oh, good flash coming in, though. And Nila will be picking up the first one, Nuki, but looks like Troubly will come in there with a headshot onto Nila, making it a one-for-one trade. Smoke coming down. And no real push right now for the terrace side. Let's see. Nope, they haven't pushed in just yet. Troubly still with that bomb, just waiting. As we do have 2 CTs inside now, and 2 outside. So should be fairly okay to hold for the CTs. The terrorists have to come in with those Glocks there and fire out those burst fires, because we've seen so far in this game the burst fire really changing the game in these pistol rounds. And hopefully mousesports can emulate some of that. And
I like what they're doing here, too. Yeah. They're going to re-hit inside. So this is hopefully pushing the other counter-terrorists back outside, away from Z and away from that super fast rotate position. And Kerrigan on top of Pop Dog. Popping away, but not able to connect. And not going to get much of a chance to push upside off here.
MSL, though, will be pushing straight through the smoke. Not what you expect. Runs out of bullets, though. But will be picking up the headshot. And getting that kill is Nico. So that's going to be 1-0 here, winning the pistol round, bringing us on 12-4 for Anexis Esports.
Not too much to talk about there, really. I mean, once again, they played it right. They didn't have much of an option but to re-hit that round. Yeah. There was a 4-on-4, and if they took too long, made any noise going outside, they knew. And if they just rushed inside, they were screwed. So really the best option they had was just to hang out for a little bit, hope that those CTs that were outside fell away from Z. And that's exactly what they did, but we're not able to pick up that round. mousesports, that is. 1-0 is your score.
But already Glaive is taking out to 1 HP early on in the round. And I think that was the power of the burst fire from the Glock, but Nile will be bouncing back for Anexis and picking up a triple. Not dead yet. As we do see one last man standing. Troubly, unfortunately for him, he did not have the bomb. If he had that bomb, he could have planted it, and they could have possibly bought the next round, but now Troubly is just going to be all by himself, 1v3.
All by himself, 1 is the loneliest number, and all that jazz. P250 in hand. Ooh, Famas, that's always a big plus.
That's actually quite good, if you could say that for the next round. That's at least better than just dying.
He's going to be contended. I mean, the sound radius in this game is fairly large. They do know that he's fallen back, and there it is. Pimp will take him down. 2-0 is now the score that will make it 13-4 overall in favor of Team Anexis. Now, once again, guys, this is the final map of a best-of-3 between these two teams, and so far, Anexis is dominating here on Train.
Yep, and we are, of course, joined by Robot Jimmy. Your voice just went into robot mode there. Quite funny.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
We good?
Hopefully. Skype will fix itself. But we are seeing an inside push so far for the terrorist side. And looks like the CTs will be able to hold it. Double grenade coming in there. MSL probably picking up the 3-man. Probably also the 4K. Let's see here. But Sonics, wow. Great stop by Sonic so far. Has picked up MSL there. Nico taking him out in the end. And Nuki will be once more also all by himself. And also taken out by Glaive. So 3-0 right now. 14 to 4. Yeah, 14-4 in favor of Anexis. And yeah, of course, the only thing that casters can is count. That is,
yes.
So you know that.
I mean, apparently I'm a robot now, so I'm going to be very proficient
You're
in
human
math.
again. You're human again. It's okay.
Oh, so I'm terrible at math again. I have a lot of things going against me.
In those 10 seconds while being a robot, you were just like freaking genius at math. Now
And it felt incredible. A lot of flashes coming in here. Outside, it looks like Mouse is going to be trying to work towards Ivy and mid. Troubly taking down Glaive there. And Zonix all the way out. Now, I think he spotted one through the smoke, but he's going to be contended from 2 angles.
Oh,
he will take down Pimp. And it's a 3-on-3. Some very efficient trades from both teams so far. Now, Nilly is going to be a guy to keep your eye on right now. Flanking right now from inside of team mid. But he has been found. He's now in a very tough spot. This is a choke point. He can be seen. And Nico onto Troubly. Last man standing is Nuki. AK-47 in hand in a 1 versus 2. There is one op. If he can isolate, take down this op, it will be huge for him. But Nico says not today, and he will fall. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now at match point. It is 15-4 in favor of Team Anexis. And so far, a story of close rounds, close matches, great individual play, really bringing it to these awesome rounds. But Anexis, once again, so dominant coming into DE Train. A freaking 11-4 victory in the first half. Really playing so solid.
Yeah, and just look at Nico's score right now. 6 kills, 0 deaths. That guy is not afraid of anything. And right now, not afraid of mousesports at all. As he just pulled out the hat-trick the last round. We'll pick off Troubly here to begin this one. And this is basically the last chance for mousesports. Well, they are being picked apart. Kerrigan needs to pull out something magical. The bomb is planted, though, so it's not entirely impossible for mousesports. As Clay will be coming in with 1 frag. Sonics will be wrapping around from the back, hitting it from the pop dog. And he does pick up MSL, so good so far for mousesports. They have a chance of winning this one. Let's see, Pimp will be picking up 1, and now it's all on a prox. He does pick up Pimp. Bomb still taken away.
Oh my god, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Anexis will be your victors in this best of 3. Now, that was a lot of pressure. You could see it as he kind of strafed out with that full spray, and that is not what I expected coming into Train. What do you have to say about that?
I am completely blown away, also by the fact that I actually thought he had that clutch, because he could have sprayed through the smoke, but for some reason, Anexis just got that defuse. Unlucky for the mousesports player, but still. Wow, that was an example of how good Anexis are on Train. 11-4 in the first half, then 5-0 in the second. That's done. 16-4 after 2 very close maps. We have this final Train game, and Anexis just comes straight out of the water, just shoots everyone down from the mousesports lineup. So I'm very impressed by these Danish players.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, once again, it's not that often that you see someone come in with dynamic play on Train. We talked about how methodical it is, and they seem to kind of break that mold coming into that matchup against mousesports, which is cool to see. Because throughout that entire story, they seem to be that more of a, I don't know, just individually skilled team. Yeah. They came together there. It was great.
So, right now, that was the first relegation match. The winner of this match, of course, Anexis, will turn out against NIP Gaming in the first semi-final. Tomorrow, we're going to find out what team will face off against Very Games in the second semi-final. That is going to be Levendogs versus Virtus Pro. And yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. That's going to be at 8 tomorrow night. So do remember to tune in for that, of course, here at ESP TV. You can go click that follow button. If you want to stay updated, get a little email even, you can set your mobile phone up so you get a text message every time we go live. If you don't want to do that, you can, of course, always like us on Facebook, facebook.com/MyEastPlanet, where we're always telling you guys whenever there's a stream or whenever there's news in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And if you don't even want to go onto Facebook, you can, of course, stay hipster at Twitter, where you can follow me at FollowRisk. You can follow the producer at FunksTech. And, of course, you can always follow Jimmy Wisenhunt at JimmyWiz. And, yeah, we'll be typing all that into chat, so you guys can go and click all those things. But, yeah, until we see you tomorrow, I'd like to thank, of course, Jimmy here for helping us out with the co-casting tonight. Thanks, Jimmy.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
And yeah, we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow evening at 8 CET right here on ESP TV for more Fnatic FragOut League. See you then.